No intro or anything. Here we are. Just
already there.
yeah. Day one was fun. We had yesterday. Michael Tolia hit 3 home runs. Then we get Charlie Condon. So yesterday I think was a really good day for Rockies Nation. I think safe to say that. But day two, Tyler. I know you're a little busy, but Luke, what kind of value can we look at for day two in terms of a team building?
We still have an opportunity to get a bunch of really good picks here. I think right now, you posted last night 2 of those graphics. There's a lot of good pitching remaining, at least just to be on the lookout for this next round or two. We have a chance to get a lot of really good prospects for the system, a couple more top 30 guys today. So it's going to be exciting to build off because yesterday was one of the strongest day ones or potential strong day ones in all of Rockies history. So we've got a really good base to build off.
Who's the number one player left on your board?
I had Charlie Bates, high school shortstop. I don't know if the Rockies are going to go there, though. I'm kind of hoping they go Dax Whitney. He's a high school righty out of Idaho. I'm surprised he lasted this long. Pretty projectable, good arm.
Yeah, he kind of survived. I guess not survived, but didn't get picked. There was a giant run of pitchers to end the draft. I think 8 or 9 straight to end yesterday, the first day. So we come in here today, and there's still a lot of pitching talent. I know that's where the strength is in the middle rounds is pitching talent. And we've seen the Rockies, Carson Palmquist is the obvious one, but a Jace Kaminska, even an Agnos, a reliever type. That was 10th round, though. You can really get some quality guys here, especially pitching-wise. And, rounds 3, 4, 5, you could really find someone good.
Yeah, early day 2 is always a hotbed. Just some guys that slip through the cracks a little bit, but, if you're a team that, like the Rockies, and your last pick was almost there, well, it was 30 picks ago. That's a guy that maybe you had that evaluation on to go half a round earlier, but now you have a chance to jump on them here. So, there's definitely still a lot of very good players early day 2. Might see some of those trickle even into round 4. Depending on how many high school guys go beginning of day 2, sometimes teams will make a run again on prep guys early day 2. More likely than not, though, we're going to see, a lot of those guys will end up going day 3, beginning of day 3. There's a couple deals worked out. But that's sort of what's there to watch. The Rockies are probably hanging in that college demographic mostly. So whatever high school players go, sort of just push more college talent down the board. And do you guys have any idea where we actually find the draft? I went to MLB Network, and they say they're airing the celebrity softball game now.
I'm just going to go on the draft tracker.
Yeah, that's what I was going to do. I'm pretty sure.
Because if it is televised, it's going to be really behind after a couple.
There's I think they have a link you can watch on I don't know, I have the MLB.com app on, but it's you can watch it, but it's not really.
You got to go to Stream East.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not going to go find a stream for the second and third day, but it's kind of fun sometimes just to hear the weird I feel bad for the guy who announces all the picks late day 2 and then day 3. It's just a guy who's probably sitting in a room and gets all these cards thrown at him and has to run off all the names really fast. But let's see if we can find this. Although not necessarily. The draft tracker is going to be faster.
So I'm thinking the 20 through 80 rating scale. I think we wait on that. That doesn't have to be pushed out immediately. Kind of middle of the third round. Middle of the third round, we'll do that. I don't want to put too much, pressure on.
We should be able to get those out, I think.
Yeah, we'll get them out today, but probably 10 minutes after the pick, not
Okay. Yeah. No, do graphic first, and then
And then we'll deal with the rest. Yeah, we'll let Luke do this thing. You do the stats, and then I'll deal with it.
Yeah, perfect.
Do we know if it's started yet? Oh, no.
That's it. Yeah, we got 12 minutes. We got 3034L asking who do we think they're going to draft. I mean, that's tough. It's almost hard to predict just where their mind is at, but they only have 2 teams ahead of them. So if there is a guy that is here on day 2, think of certain guys like Dakota Jordan was projected to go day 1, like early middle of day 1. Frankly, I'm not super high on him. He's like just tons of risk there, but also you take one of the highest ceilings in the draft. So I mean, it's hard to see where the Rockies are thinking right now. If they're going college pitching, I mean, you have a couple top guys like Drew Beam. You know, Ryan Prager is probably a polarizing guy. Some teams might be really high on him. Some teams might push him down a couple rounds. Ryan Fortucci is here. Tyson Neighbors. Those are some of the top college pitchers. And I wouldn't be surprised if we hear one of those names. But, Luke, is there someone, a college pitcher? I mean, I'm usually using the draft tracking website just as a nice, easy resource. But I know their rankings are certainly not the most indicative.
Yeah, I think you got most of the college arms that I kind of want right now. I think he might be available for their next pick too, but Miami lefty Rafe Schlesinger is kind of if you want the Carson Palmquist, Sean Sullivan pick for the year, that's kind of the guy to go to. So he's got some intriguing stuff, and he can start as well. So I'd love if the Rockies could take him.
Yeah, that was a staple in the mock drafts Tyler made.
I mean, if he was sitting there usually in the 4th or 5th round in the Prospects Live simulator, and it's like he's definitely a guy I would take in the 4th, and especially in the 5th. The other guy I did miss, Michael Massey. I'm really high on him as a Rockies fit. He is like the extension guy at this year's draft. So if the Rockies want to continue drafting more pitchers whose velocity can play up with the extension, I think Michael Massey would be a really great option. And Steven, it's okay. You can live out the Jeff Passan moment. Day 2 is a little bit better. These a little less stakes, so feel free to drop it in there.
Trying to find out Darian Pendergrass. Where is he on this? Got the jersey on.
Here, dude.
Let's see. What? John Spikerman. Like.
He's a really day 2 guy. Like probably gone by round 6. I think so. He's gonna be very much in the mix here early.
The guy with my last name. You never know. Could be my cousin. Let's see. All right.
Do we think we trade Cal or Gomber?
I mean, I hope so. I think Cal. If I'm a team that's trying to compete, I'm not trading for Cal. I just don't really see. I mean, we're already seeing the regression back to Cal control or control. Gomber, though, is interesting. I think Gomber's. That's another mid-round guy. I'm pretty sure. So I mean, I just don't. I know pitching is everybody needs pitching nowadays, but I don't think if you're wanting to win a championship, you probably shouldn't rely on Austin Gomber and Cal control.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I agree. I mean, Quantrill's value right now would be inflated, but I think they look to trade one of those guys if they can. I don't think they're going to force it. They don't want to just take away their controllable pitching. It's just not the way that they operate, and we've seen that time and time again. If anyone has an extra year of control, they're not looking to move those chips out there, but they know they're in a position that it would make sense to move a pitcher, and they have a handful of guys that are going to be ready in the next year or 2 to replace them. So I think they'll certainly look to move one, but it'll take someone willing to meet their price, which I'm sure will be somewhat high.
Yeah, I'd love it if they could trade them though, because we're kind of seeing the benefits already from like last year's trade deadline, where we finally traded people in expiring contracts, and now we've got Vodnik, Tanner Gordon, a couple other guys that we wouldn't have before, and we have a couple years of control of them too. So hopefully they can trade some guys. But
I do also think it's a weird year with standings. I think it's like 90% of teams will be buying, I think a lot of teams are kind of delusional this year because of how close the wild card races are, that they're only a couple games away, and they get like a couple dudes, and they can talk themselves into that. So I mean, I think it's gonna be a buyer's market, but I mean, I don't think we have many pieces. Diaz will get us a good piece, but I was also last year saying we wouldn't get a lot out of Crone, Grigic, and who else did we trade last year? Somebody else, and we did. So there you go. I mean, Pierce Johnson's a guy that I didn't think we'd get anything out of, but they loved the road Pierce Johnson Atlanta did, and now he looks great. So you never really know.
And that's something that could come into play. I mean, he's been brutal to watch, but he's still throwing basically the same stuff as he did when he was absolutely dominant. I think he's someone that the mechanics are so aggressive that his feel changes day to day. But a team might say Tyler Kinley has, late inning stuff. If we can work with him a little bit, iron some things out, like that's at least a bullpen guy to have in the playoffs, whether he gets used or not. So he could be that sleeper. Someone trades kind of a lower end prospect for him. I don't think you get the Pierce Johnson return, but
yeah, I think there's a lot of dudes in the bullpen like that. I mean, I don't think we have a lot of pieces to trade. I think, especially like outside of catcher, I don't think we're going to trade a position player unless a team wants Brendan Rodgers. Brendan Rodgers is going to get probably priced out of the Rockies. I know he's only $3 million ARB, so it's probably going to be like $5 million. I assume they're going to want to start Amador at second base. So I assume this could be, even though there's no team control, this could be Rodgers last year in purple. So I wonder if we can maybe sell him off a little bit. It's just so tough at the deadline because I don't want to get too ahead of ourselves because we've only seen them sell for 1 year. And most of the time they don't do that. So you never really know.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird, like, do we want to base our thoughts on last year or a little bit more towards 2 years ago when they were a lot slower to be making deals? It's tough to know.
They signed the best reliever on the market to a 2-year deal. It's a fun one.
But mixed with this draft class that we're already seeing take shape, it would be amazing to get a couple guys, even if they're barely in the top 30 or even outside the top 30. Just getting a little bit more depth would certainly be nice. Boost the team organizational rankings even more. That's something we love to check in on. We're waiting until the Rockies are top 10, and if they're not after this draft, that's when you kind of know something's afoot. They're not getting quite the fair look that other teams might be getting. I
think you said it like probably 2 months ago when Beck got hurt. Like our system, Beck is still going to be a prospect in our system. I know Thompson has fallen off for prospect, at least like nationally, but we're still going to have like 7 dudes in the top 100 when it's updated. Probably at least 2 in the top 40 or 45.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, frankly, they should have 3 in the top 40, 45. Like Amador shouldn't be pushed down too far because of a slow start in AA. I mean, he's certainly not the same top 20, top 25 prospect, but they now have 3 very high-end prospects, which it's fun to work with that and kind of build the foundation of your system on that.
Yeah, and Veen's finally healthy too, so hopefully now he can start rising up those rankings a bit.
I'm kind of out of Veen, I'm not going to lie.
I don't know.
Please.
Yeah, I'm a big believer.
You talk about the fastball thing. Defensively, it's not great, but injuries are there. I just think with Veen, there's so many courses that it can go wrong that, like, I just don't have a lot of confidence in it going right.
Yeah, there's definitely
a corner for sure.
I mean, he definitely has the ability to play center. I think that really drives the. Not that there's like an open spot at Coors.
I think this year I watched him play, and I just think he gets. I don't know. He doesn't have the feel for it. Like even in a corner, he gets like lost. He's turned around a lot. I mean, I just don't have a lot of confidence in it. Center at Coors is also a lot difficult than center, and
Yeah, that's true. But if he can keep that bat on the track it is right now, like that's,
Yeah.
Other than now Condon, arguably the best bat in the system. Just it's rare bat speed. He has good knowledge of the zone.
He's athletic. I'm saying all this stuff about defense. He has the athleticism to clean that up.
He's got a really good arm too.
Yeah. So, number 1 high school player, if I'm not wrong, in like 2018. So the talent is definitely there. It's really all about health at this point. And we just saw him
It's frustrating to see another injury that was held him out for almost a month. That coming off of a full season injury, that just was the last thing you wanted to see.
It's going to be interesting because I think most people have forgotten about Veen, and I think he's going to have to get a shot at the major league roster soon because he's going to be like Rule 5 eligible soon. So he's going to be shoved up there, and we'll see. Like, it's very soon he'll be in purple just because that's how the timeline just has to work out.
Yeah, he's going to have to get added this offseason, so maybe he's a September call-up. Maybe they do just take it cautious with him and don't call him up, and he gets added in the winter. And then you can take it a little bit slower with him middle of next year as a debut time. But it's fun to kind of have a sleeping giant in your system like that. If he comes back, gets into form, like he is a top 40 prospect in baseball based on pure talent. Based on time, we're about to kick off here.
Oh, yeah.
2 picks till the Rockies. That's fun. And before I guess picks are getting announced, 3034L asked what we think about the Condon pick. Could read that a little bit. Yeah, we hate it. No, it was a fantastic scenario for the Rockies to have a talent like that slip down. I've been trying to kind of pick through and find things I don't like with his profile, and I cannot find it.
Tyler, he was a walk-on, so he doesn't have that much talent.
Yeah, that's the downside. He's a freaking former walk-on. But he covers the zone really well, hits velocity, hits all, different types of spin, velocity, the off-speed pitches he's handling. Elevates the baseball power. He's a little aggressive, but you can never really tell sometimes in college where like marginal team strategy, like go out there and we have a good lineup, go out there and swing the bat. It's hard to tell exactly what's happening. So that's like maybe the only like slight blemish is he swings like a fair amount.
Yeah, in terms of like college hitters that I believe in coming out of the draft, it's him and Andrew Vaughn for 1 and 2. So
stop.
No, Vaughn. Okay, I'll say that's like a joke. Vaughn only played like 37 games in the minor leagues, so hopefully the Rockies don't do that with Condon.
He definitely, yeah. I saw somebody tweet out today comparing Condon to Vaughn, Torkelson, and Davis, and
I know exactly that.
I won't analyze that, but
I know exactly that.
I saw that, and either it's disingenuous or it's not the most.
No, he's legit about that. He's not like Condon.
Just I understand being a little nervous about that type of archetype, like potentially a guy who's a first baseman or a bad corner outfielder. I mean, we don't know if that's going to be the case with him defensively or not. I mean, but the bat is a notch above those guys by not even just a notch, like two or 3 notches above those guys.
And Henry Davis, I mean, I don't think he was offensively that, and he was also like an underslot guy. So it was like,
yeah, he was basically like the 5th pick in the draft based on the slot. So,
no, yeah, I think the best possible like scenario happened for the Rockies getting Condon. I mean, that's huge boost. I'm so happy that the Reds didn't pick him.
They looked really sad that they didn't get him.
I think they were basically forced into we have to spread our money down.
The owner definitely, yeah. Owner made the call.
That's tough, but it certainly benefits us. I mean, that was like you said, that was the best outcome that really could have happened.
And I'm almost glad, like, I love Bazzana. That was kind of like my number 1 guy, but I'm glad we're not torn between like Bazzana and Amador and trying to find a spot because it's going to be a lot easier to find a spot for Condon than the Bazzana Amador thing would have been pretty tough.
Well, it's something with the Rockies' current lineup that sucks is you have that DH spot is soaked up by guys that we. Especially Charlie Blackmon that we love, but when that spot actually opens up, it's gonna allow you to do a lot more flexible things, and you're not gonna have to worry as much about the logjam. Like there's gonna have to be something done about that, but it's not an issue. Wait, is G Vandy real? Rockies DFA Josh Rogers. They just put him on the or they just optioned him like 2 days ago to back to AAA.
Dude, we're abusing these AAA pitchers. It is sad to see.
Yep. Oh, we claimed someone off of waivers, Antoine Kelly from Texas.
Hell yeah. Hold on, let me click on that graphic.
Yeah, get that.
I've been saying we need to start claiming guys because, like, naturally, the 41st player is going to be better than our 39th player on, like, the 41st player on, like, X team.
People are going to have a heyday with this one. He has a 9.37 ERA in 18 games this year, 2.45 WHIP.
Yeah, he's walked a batter pretty much per inning. No more. He's leading 11.6. Oh goodness. Okay.
And yeah, he hasn't made his debut yet. I figured he had made his debut. He was just like a casualty, like a top prospect that got added, and now they're unwilling to keep him. But all right, day 2 is.
Why is this guy sitting on a 4?
The A's are making a pick.
I always wonder if we can like EFA him and get him. I don't know if that's a thing.
So there's the first pick of day 2. Maybe, I think the Rockies, I would love for them to go ahead and add a middle infielder at some point today, whether that's early or not. That's just always an area that you should be looking to add. So, I mean, Colorado Grower is a great player. He's not the power guy, but he does everything pretty well. I wouldn't have minded that. But again, we're seeing that pitching continue. Like, Rockies are going to have the option of a pitcher here.
Ooh, we got a catcher. Cole Messina.
I don't know if he's a catcher. He's kind of a bit more.
Another South Carolina guy. So now we got Wimmer, Mahoney, and Messina.
So yeah, he
What
is
position should I list him at?
last year with 21 home runs. Some fringy plate discipline, and yeah, the defense is a little questionable. But it's a good bat.
I'm surprised they are going, so heavily after more corner-oriented bats. But yeah, the power here is huge. That's like easy plus raw power. So can't be upset.
What position should I list him as?
I mean, they announced him as a catcher, so for now at least,
Okay.
I'd go with that. I mean, I haven't looked into his actual defense, but they're showing on the broadcast right now that MLB grades his arm and fielding ability at 50. So, I guess they're confident he sticks behind the plate. But I'm a fan of that pick. I just wasn't expecting a hitter at the top of day 2.
Oh yeah.
But it's a pretty decent chase rate. There's some contact. He's not a contact oriented hitter. At all, but that power is what you're getting there. 108.2, 90th percentile exit velocity. So that's pretty big time.
Oh, Kevin Bazell goes off next. I know we're still talking about this pick, but
yeah, a couple catchers. I mean, it's been primarily bats. I kind of wonder if the Rockies would have taken Drew Beam if the Royals didn't take him. I know that's a guy a lot of people were really high on. I'm personally not that high on Drew Beam, but also I think he's pretty safe to make it to the big leagues. Maybe that was a Rockies guy though, and they pivoted. And yeah, Lewis, just let me know when you do.
I'm about to post it right
there.
15 seconds.
It is funny that they have like the broadcast going, and it is like 2 picks behind.
Well, it's gonna be so far behind in like an hour.
But yeah,
So we get a really interesting catcher prospect here. And we saw, was it McCabe was a guy we drafted, I think, 4th round a couple years ago.
He was,
I
think he was in the Yankees last year.
Yeah. So
I mean, they usually get a catcher at least every. I'm betting if they take a catcher early, I'm sure they're going to take another one later on with a little bit more of a defensive focus.
This means we're trading Elias Diaz, guys.
But it's good to have a catcher in there every 2-3 years to, just continue having that stability. And frankly, I mean, I know we love Willie McIver, but he's 27. I think that the outlook there is like you get a backup catcher maybe, and you can always be looking to upgrade, as your backup catcher spot. So I wouldn't look at the Rockies as having a ton of catching depth. So getting Cole Messina makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, like I said, there's more. That's another South Carolina guy we get in the system. I know Wimmer and Mahoney were good friends, so I don't know. Maybe this guy. I know with the transfer stuff. I don't know his timeline, but let me check. I think he was there all 4 years. Oh yeah, yeah. So yeah, we get another South Carolina guy, probably in Fresno next year. So it should be fun to see him. I don't think Wimmer will be there. Mahoney probably won't, but another guy that Stephen Rice gets to talk to from South Carolina.
There is Ryan Prager to the Angels, guy we kind of talked about. Isaac asked, if we didn't trade Cody Huff, would we be in this position? Probably. I mean, it's a good question, though, because Huff opened up like a mature, developed catcher. You lose one of those guys in the system, like you have to replace them. But I think they're going after the bat with Messina. It is well above average power. And wait, dude, who in college has someone like repurposed the Rocky City Connect jerseys? Like, what school is that? The mascot is the Seahawks. It's literally the Rocky City Connect jersey. Like they showed the Ryan Prager clips, Texas A&M. Somebody they faced, I assume a mid-major, had the Rocky City Connect uniforms.
I'm getting down the bottom there. Northwood? Does that make sense?
Is it? I'm not sure. I'm sure they are a very small school.
It might be UNC Wilmington.
That's what I'm down.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think you're right on that.
Okay. So this is an SEC guy, and we've seen this past year in college baseball. The SEC's kind of taken off as the premier conference, much like football. So we don't really have to worry about this guy almost like translating into Fresno. I think he'll be perfectly fine as I'm pulling up these baseball uniforms really quickly. Studied. Oh yeah, they do. Criminology is what
Here's Josh Cardle in Pittsburgh. So now we're seeing kind of that college pitching run we were expecting.
I don't see the uniforms. Oh.
It was I was just shocked to see that.
What color was the main color?
They were green and white, like basically the exact same looking. It might have been a little bit different. I'm not sure if it was actually like mountains or not, but just like everything about it looked fundamentally the same.
It's not even Wilmington.
Yeah, it's like that. I mean, he was definitely an intriguing guy, but Cleveland, I'm sure that this was kind of their plan to get a couple of prep arms after taking Travis Mazzano. So I'm sure he knew exactly where he was going today. So based on what I have, Messina is considered an above average framer, right around average, as a framer. But maybe it leaves a bit to be desired as a blocker. So that the average defense is maybe a little generous. Like he's probably 45/50 defender. Caught stealing percentage of 25.9 this year, which is good. So I think there's hope that he can stick behind the plate, especially if you polish up the blocking a little bit. But definitely getting the bat with Cole Messina.
Yeah, if he can stick there.
Detroit. Yeah, definitely.
With his power, I mean, that'd be amazing.
Framing is a really tough thing for like a guy like me to really buy into for prospects. Really, for any, I'm just kind of trusting what the models say with framing. It's a really tough thing to like eye test.
Well, and fortunately, I'm not. I have a strikes looking above average metric. That, I mean, it's just taking every pitch that he catches, looking at the location of it, however many are called strikes on kind of the shadow zone. So by that at least he's grading out around average.
Yeah, if that's a big sample, I think that's safe to
But
look at.
Josh Randall went to Detroit a few picks ago, and that was going to be one of my top targets a little bit later here. Well, not later here, like potentially round 3 and certainly round 4. So we're seeing a good run on these college pitchers. So hopefully the Rockies come back. I mean, I'd be shocked now if they didn't take a pitcher come round 4. That would truly be a shock.
Yeah.
For all the Johns,
the command is a bit of an issue. So I'd expect like a safe college starter here.
Yeah, you've got to try it. I mean, I always think that, in the past, the Rockies have drafted more pitching than they need to fill out a rotation and then part of a bullpen. I mean, right now you're running out of guys that you can confidently stick into a minor league rotation and hope to keep them there. So I would love to see him kind of hammer those, get a few guys that can be in that Fresno rotation next year, potentially jump to Spokane.
okay.
Dude, there goes San Diego's doing San Diego things now. Guys that nobody has heard of.
He's unranked.
Shoot, where do I have him? I had him somewhere.
If they could trade that pick, they would.
Find that ranking.
I had a Hightower at a 248.
Okay. So then this is like once you're in this round, it's sort of like you want to just take guys that fit your model and potentially underslot even in the 3rd round. So
yeah, he's a good shortstop. Like plus run tools, some contact. The pop's kind of below average, but might have been a money saver.
Yeah, and I mean a prep money saver is a pretty attractive thought. So.
Yeah.
Whenever you get the chance, Tyler, go and send me over the grades if you feel confident.
Okay. Definitely.
I should be able to get that going quickly.
So that hit. I mean, are we using just the MLB.com grades?
What do they have? I can only have 5 slots. I don't know if that changes things.
I mean, we could probably just take his speed off. I'm sure he's not a runner.
Yeah, he's not real good, probably. What if he is, and we're just like doubting him?
No, they grade him as a 30 grade runner. So
Okay, never mind. Yeah.
Like best case, it's like maybe close to below average at 40. So yeah, we'll just actually no, they have a 50 on his power, which is pretty silly. So
instead of fielding, should I do blocking?
No, do fielding.
Okay.
So you're doing 5, right?
Framing. Hit, power, field, arm.
Just hit, power, arm, field overall.
Oh, I'll do speed then.
Instead of overall, you can do speed. Without me looking, it probably is a 30. He looks like a 30 speed guy. How many like bearded catchers that have a pretty big build are fast? I mean, he had 8 steals this year, so I will look into that when we have a little bit more downtime. If there's maybe some sneaky 40 grade speed there.
So should I put 35 for the run?
No, leave it at 30 for now.
Okay.
We got a response on Twitter from a dude.
Oh, good news.
He's a Rockies fan, but maybe knows Messina. Says he's an absolute dog. So
yeah, if you know Messina.
Someone asked, how many catchers do we have? LOL. Not enough. I don't think you have enough, really.
You can never have enough.
No. Until you have like 5 or 6 that project as MLB starters, like, okay, maybe you've gone overkill. But if you have 3 guys in your system that hopefully they are starters in the future, that's a very good thing to have.
Yeah. Then even at worst, if you do have that, like in a crazy scenario, have that 6 or 7 guys that can play at the big league level, like everyone else needs catchers then.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. Just corner the market on catching. Oh dang, we get our first senior sign. Hunter Crenton from Kansas. He's 23 years old.
he's good though.
Yeah, he like definitely not a throwaway pick, but I'm sure they saved a few $100K with that.
Yeah, 101 fastball. His slider reaches 91.
I wonder if there's any attempt to start him. I'm sure that might be a quick, fast track.
Another pick.
We got Andrew Globalnik in the chat saying he's an SC alum. Watched every game over the last 5 years. Messina handled high velo at the plate. Check out his SEC tournament highlights. So we'll have to get in there and take a deeper look. And what's up, Kobe? Thanks for coming back. Day 2.
Yeah, that those teams are. I mean, that's like the Rockies. Mahoney, Wimmer. Now we got Messina. So.
Yeah, no, it's kind of fun to see when teams just keep going back to the same well. Like last couple of years, it's been Tennessee for sure.
That's the Helton effect. How old is Messina?
Just 21. Like just turned 21 like a month and a half ago. Or I guess
what do you guys think is his second position? I'm only able 2 here. Like
probably first base.
Yeah, he played a little first base this year.
Yeah.
A little third base
last year. But for anywhere else besides catcher.
Yeah, we'll get into a little bit more of the defense once things slow down. Get a better understanding of that. I mean, as of right now, though, it seems like he's a pretty legit defender. You hope with some pro development coaching that he can clean up the blocking. But it seems like a legit average arm. So I'm content with that. I definitely wasn't expecting it though. Catcher to kick off day 2.
Yeah, it really we never really talk about catchers. They kind of just sneak up on you when you pick them. So I don't hate the pick. I think he looks like a dog, so I think he'll be successful. He just looks like a dude that just hits home runs left and right. And this is the type of analysis you get with me. Guy just looks like a good baseball player. So
yeah, and yeah, Andrew, you definitely bring up a good point. I would trust it in the overall if he's catching, like a ton of pitches. I think in the overall it kind of works out, but certainly not a perfect metric. Because he caught 7,120 pitches this year, so I think in the grand scheme of things, I think a lot of those skewed pitches kind of get thrown out.
All right, so between Cole or Hunter Goodman, which one is a more catcher, like behind the plate natural?
Seems kind of like Messina so far.
Okay.
I mean, Goodman is props to him for hanging on and getting some MLB time back there. But it's tough to say. I don't really remember doing a whole lot of looking at Goodman's defense when he came out of the draft.
That's actually kind of a decent comp, though. I mean, 2 power hitting catchers. Like, obviously, Goodman's more of an outfield first base type, but that isn't crazy dissimilar. But yeah, I think the defense, Messina's got him there. Yeah,
I mean, I think it's certainly close on the defense, and then they're both very power oriented. I think his hit tool might be more polished than Goodman, though.
Yeah,
Goodman was kind of a go out there and swing for the fences every pitch. So I think Messina, you get a bit of a polished bat. But we are now almost done. I mean, we're already almost at the end of round 3. A lot of high school guys getting taken. Not a ton, but a handful of high school guys taken. I miss Thatcher Hurd to the Yankees. That definitely could have been a target for Colorado.
Okay, I'm now live on Instagram.
Nice.
Forgot to do that. Forgot to hit go live. So, sorry, Instagram users. By the way, shout out everybody that's been following us. Another big week. I know it's the draft week. We've kind of built up towards this, but up to 2,200 followers. We're going to do the Ryan Ritter giveaway soon. There you go. Signed Ryan Ritter.
Oh, yeah.
We'll do it after our 4th round pick because Ryan Ritter, 4th round pick. There you go. Fun stuff. I know Aaron has another giveaway. I'll probably have to pick one for that, but a lot of cool stuff. Thank you to Grant for giving us the cards. He didn't give us that card, but he gave us most of the cards we like to give away. They're from Grant. So everybody give Grant Hankins a follow. If you want to see a cool Tovar card collection, that's your guy. Probably, I'd say the biggest Tovar card collection in the world, without a doubt.
I mean, it's a special card collection. Period. Yeah, Rockies card collection.
I always make the joke like if Tovar has a good game, his net worth goes actually goes up because of how many cards he has.
It's very true.
So where do we think Messina will rank on the top 30? I mean, I'm pretty sure 3rd round pick, he'll be on there. But
Tyler answered that one.
I think he's.
Shoot, my bad.
No, I haven't. We haven't talked about Messina in the rankings.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I was just saying I don't know. Like,
Sorry. I thought you said he answered it. I was like, oh shit.
No. I said that's all Tyler, man. I would say 20 something or 17 to 22 range, but that's just like a ball for me.
I think probably outside the top 15, but inside the top 20.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm like more optimistically, maybe like 14 to 16, and then, but yeah, that's legit power that few guys in the system really have. So I don't want to put him much lower than 15.
Yeah, if he can catch, I mean, that's a huge ceiling. It's the same thing with like Brenton Doyle. Like if he can hit with his defense there, that's so valuable.
No, exactly. You're not going to stumble upon that kind of a tool every day. So if you can just supplement it around the power, then you're going to have a good player. I'm trying to find something on Antoine Kelly though too. Like he had to have been a notable prospect. Like I've just okay. So in 2021 he was the Brewers' number 6 prospect.
Yeah. He was the number 27 even after that for the Rangers. So he was still hanging on to some sort of prospect status.
Okay. And yeah, former 2nd round pick. It's an interesting. I mean, last year in 2023 he was nails, like 2.04 ERA.
Did I post the Antoine Kelly thing to Twitter yet?
Let me check.
Spikerman and Fortucci just got picked.
Oh, no. Who took
Wait, they announced Spikerman as a shortstop.
Wow.
They're trying to be different.
But dang, Fortucci to Houston, I like forever. Yeah.
We almost.
Is Spikerman Trey Turner? Is that Trey Turner?
I mean, I guess now maybe. That's
I'm close to the star pick.
Yeah, Fortucci is. I think he's just gonna be so good. That fastball is. I mean, it's not. He doesn't even have that much velo, but he's like the peak example of a low launch guy. Pretty good overall life. I wanted Ryan Fortucci really badly. So
yeah.
Oh, are we verified yet? Oh, I might go to go live on Twitter.
And it's pretty interesting now. Daniel Egan's coming off to Arizona from Presbyterian College. I was like, this guy must be like a true metric darling, and like I like his stuff enough, but also was surprised to see him as a top 100 guy in some lists. And I mean, he went basically in the top 100. But
yeah, I didn't like him as much as everyone else did. There was nothing. It's a lot of good stuff, but like there's
Yeah.
nothing too crazy.
I didn't necessarily see like a starter projection with him, like maybe, but more likely I saw a reliever with Egan. So that's an Arizona pick. I don't know. Yeah, we're probably not going to be able to keep up so well with the division. Just a lot of picks coming today.
Yeah, it's just us.
Arizona's had so many picks too. Yeah.
Yeah, they're running a really good class this year. And I mean, they're probably going to be looking to save some money with a few of these guys. It's like Egan might have been slightly under slot to accommodate a few of those high school guys on day one. We're officially now entering round 4. Round 4 is about to kick off. So, Lewis, you ready to make another graphic?
I'm locked in. Yeah, I feel like this is going really quick. So like, for me, it's kind of fun. Like, there's always something to do right now.
Well, let's see. So we posted the initial. How long did it take? It was 21 minutes ago. We posted. So the pick probably came in like 22, 23 minutes ago, and we are like 2 minutes or less from it. So like a 25-minute round.
And I also had to do the Antoine Kelly thing too. So there's that in there.
Yeah, I saw that just got posted. Absolutely grinding right now.
No, yeah, we have some fun stuff. I'm excited for the deadline too. I think after that, it's chill for us for the rest of the year.
Yeah, it kind of just becomes follow games and all that. But
yeah, I mean, we're not going anywhere.
We got first pick of round 4 is a guy that I was kind of funny to me early in the season. People had Rodney Green as a mid first round prospect, and it's kind of like Dakota Jordan. I don't really see how guys that run like the 30% whiff rates, how they should be considered. Like I don't think those things get ironed out very easily. So Rodney Green at first pick of the 4th round to Oakland.
That's funny too. I don't know if Oakland's in the position to help Green with his because it really struggles against off speeds.
Yeah, it's really one of those profiles. I'm not sure how things come together. Like there's huge power there.
Yeah.
But now the Rockies are officially on the clock.
Yeah.
We'll let this one, in case people are watching the actual draft broadcast, we'll sit on this one for a sec, in terms of saying it. We can make some reactions, and then Lewis gives you a little head start on that graphic.
For sure. I would say Dakota Jordan's still on the board. If I'm not wrong, draft eligible sophomore. And
I think so, yeah.
I mean, round 4, I think I would say this was his floor coming into the draft. And I think the Rockies could get some good value here.
That's an underslot deal.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a very underslot deal, actually. We'll give it a couple more seconds before really talking about it here.
Classic Rockies.
Still not going to. That's.
I guess now since we're like a couple 20 seconds prior.
Looks like Zach.
Blake Wright from Clemson. He's 22 and a half years old. So that's certainly where you're getting a bargain, or I don't know if a bargain is the right word, a discount there. Probably signing him for the slot here is $689,000. You're probably at half of that for his signing.
He's not getting that.
Yeah, nobody.
I had 278 on my board.
Where?
Like 278.
Okay. I mean that's pretty good, honestly. For a senior sign to climb up there. So
yeah, he's maybe can stick it short. He's probably more likely a second baseman though. With
what pick number was it?
106.
Yeah, 106.
Thank you. Sorry.
He's got above average power, but kind of a little below average plate discipline. And then senior sign.
Yeah, the chase rate's pretty high. I do like seeing his zone contact rate is almost 90%. So with that pretty solid power, that's a high floor player there. Someone that can get the bat on the ball a lot and do damage. And what we're seeing, I didn't look at Cole Messina's ground ball rate, but Blake Wright, 32.3% ground ball rate. The Rockies are targeting guys who can lift the ball. Not something that I don't know if they've really made an effort to target in the past, but these are guys that all low 30% ground ball rates. That's what you want at Coors Field.
Mm-hmm. No, that's a great pick. I like it. I think we could have gotten him a round or two later, but
I guess it ends up being more savings, and that's sort of where we talked about it a bit at the beginning of the draft. You got to look at the full picture of the draft, and now we kind of get more of the full picture. That might strongly indicate there's some overslot deal that was worked out with Charlie Condon, potentially with Brody Brett too.
Yeah, this could be like we priced out of the red. Like we kind of knew the Reds owner wouldn't overslot, so we overslot to get Condon.
Yeah, like that's what Kylie McDaniel had speculated. So I think that's exactly what ended up happening. But also, if you were to overslot him, I don't think it was much more than maybe $100,000, $150,000, $200,000. So this is a pick that saves you like $300,000 to $400,000, if not more. So I'm a little bit surprised by it, and I'm curious to see where the money is going to end up going. Jack
Mahoney just had a pretty good tweet, not about this one, about Cole Mazina. He seems pretty hyped that we got him. So.
Former catcher.
Graphic is posted, Tyler.
Sweet.
And we can now edit post.
Yeah, I saw. I've been seeing that. That's crazy.
I mean, I think there's definitely not a flash to this pick, and you're gonna start to get these picks out. They're much more. I don't want to say serious, but just good baseball player. You know, it's not a John Spiker, and that's like super fun. But this guy's just a really good ball player, and he's a senior, so he didn't have a lot of leverage coming out. A little older. I'm excited for him. Possibly save some money too. Another South Carolina guy, not directly South Carolina, but another Clemson, South Carolina, that area. So I wonder if we're scouting that area very well. We have a good. I mean, that's been a lot of picks in that area. Yeah. You know who else is in that area? Darian Pendergrass. So.
Dude. The speedster himself.
Yeah.
And the production is there, and these are the guys that always should be. I think seniors get docked a little too much. Like, obviously, you're not going to be able to sign for that much as a senior, but I think there are players that should be a little bit more sought after in the middle, late rounds, and in terms of chasing a floor. And I think, there's legit MLB upside there. You look at a lot of senior signings, and it's sort of like a lot has to go right for this guy to get to the big leagues, but not with Blake Wright. I think there's some very legit tools there.
It's fair to mention too. I mean, he went undrafted last year in his junior year, but his sophomore year he had 349 with 11 home runs. So like, he's for the most part been a really consistent player at Clemson. You know, there's a lot of raw power, some good hit tools, the like. So, and he can play all throughout the infield as well.
Yeah, that's something that I have to look into next is, are we getting a shortstop there? Because if we are, I think that boosts that pick pretty substantially. I mean, he was announced as a third baseman, I think, but initially I saw on the draft tracker, originally it said shortstop, and then like 20 seconds later it changed to third base.
How old is he? Can't tend to.
He's 22. Yeah.
I guess he only played third base this year, but has a lot of experience with second.
I mean, this is another Florida guy, so of course I'm gonna root for him. First name Blake Street Banner, so there's some correlation there. Studying economics, so I mean, smart guy. I think it's gonna be a good pick. I know he's still got shortstop was listed, so he's gonna be an athlete. He can maybe go inside. I think he's gonna be more of a corner guy. That's what we announced him as. I'm excited for this pick. I know it's not a flashy pick. I've said that a couple times, but the flashy picks sometimes those aren't the right picks.
And you have to be able to fit all your money in here.
Yeah. That's trying to
that you don't have to think about if we take a guy and have to sign him a little bit over slot, or if we hit everybody at slot, is this going to fit? That's all the flexibility in the draft that you really need right there. And damn, the last two, prime pitching targets off the board just now in the last two selections. Rafe Schlesinger,
Carson Palmquist.
Yeah, there goes Carson Palmquist to Cleveland. And then Michael Massey, Mr. Extension, to Detroit. So the Rockies have sort of pushed themselves out of being able to get really high-end pitchers in this draft. It's kind of crazy to think. There's just not a lot of college pitching left that is going to project for an MLB rotation unless there's huge strides of development that are made. So a completely different approach than certainly everybody thought was coming. I will be honest though, I've been kind of tooting the horn of like the Rockies have drafted a million pitchers the last 2 years. Eventually you're wasting the resources. These guys you're gonna expose them to Rule 5. You're gonna have to DFA some guys that are good but not great, and you sort of run the course of just being an inefficient organization. I think this is an overcorrection so far though from what I thought was even possible. Thought maybe we'd see 2 or 3 hitters early, but we're hitting that hard.
I think we're kind of already seeing like the logjam that we have, even like in Fresno. Like there's currently 7 pitchers on that roster in Fresno. Spokane, every pitcher is great, and then you don't really want to send guys to Albuquerque, so you don't want to draft a guy that is ready for A-ball, but we don't really have a spot for. So it is a weird thing, and like you said, we've already drafted a lot of pitchers. I think we need to get some more bats in the system, and I know pitching is always something that we're the Rockies, we need pitching, but I think we've done a really good job these past couple of drafts, especially in the middle rounds, to really find value. If Blake Wright can open up another value pick for us later, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I mean, like the Angels a few years ago, they did, what was it, like the all-pitcher draft? So, maybe this year we're going the all-hitter draft with Brody Brecht as well. So, I mean...
The wide receiver, Brody.
The football team.
The all-offense drafts. But yeah, you make a good point with the Angels. I know that's not like a viable strategy, but if you see an imbalance in the system, these mid rounds are where you could kind of offset that imbalance.
Mm-hmm. Dakota Jordan just went off the board too.
To who?
But
yeah, I kind of like the Blake Wright pick, honestly. Like,
it's growing.
That 90th percentile exit velocity is really good, and the in zone contact too ain't too bad. If he can just make some better swing decisions, yeah, I like that.
Is the comp of Coco Montes sort of there? Because I'm looking at a guy that's a little older being drafted later in the draft.
Probably not. I mean, I know Coco didn't have like swing and miss issues, but this is like guy makes a ton of contact.
Okay.
And I think Coco's maybe a touch more athletic. Maybe more raw power here though as well. I think Coco figured his swing out to maximize for power, but I'm curious to see though if he gets a lot of time at second base, because that would certainly boost his value quite a bit.
And then we see Dakota Jordan. I know you just said it. Tyson Neighbors too. We'll get to that. Both in division. 2 really big divisional picks. First, Dakota Jordan. I think the best player available on a lot of people's boards left. Draft eligible sophomore. A lot of speed in that outfielder. And then of course San Diego, another just interesting pick. They go Tyson Neighbors, a guy that we liked, was on our top 8 pitchers left before the draft. Today at least. Those are 2 really good players going within the NL West.
Yeah, I mean, I think people are really just sold at this point that he's a reliever. That's why he's here in round 4. But like, he's gonna do some pretty special things as a reliever. It's really high octane stuff. I mean, there were hopes he would maybe make that switch to the rotation, boost his overall profile. But it's kind of scary though when a team gets a shutdown reliever. So
they might give him the chance to start though. He has. I mean, he got injured this year, but he has like everything he needs to start. So
yeah, and it would make sense to try and just get as much out of that pick as you can. Like see all the outcomes that are possible.
Yeah, that's great.
So there, Blake Wright was a second base, third base, like everyday player. Not a lot of shortstop. All academic for most of his years. So this is a guy that only 18 errors in his 4 seasons. So not a guy that I'm really worried about in terms of like competing in like professional baseball. But the ceiling might be a little questionable for a guy like this. But like I said, we're in the 4th round and we're saving a lot of money. So
yeah, and I pulled up a clip of him laying out a fielder's choice, and he was. I mean, in that clip, he managed to go 4-1 up the line, which is actually extremely fast. I don't think he's probably a typical 4-1 guy, but that sort of indicates
he's not
average speed is
base so
yeah.
with
Average speed is in play there. You know, potentially. I wasn't expecting anything since he had 0 stolen base attempts this year, but it looks like there might be like legit top speed for Blake Wright. Also, another just indication of athleticism. You know, in some ways that pure speed. So that kind of boosted a little in my maybe if you know not really a shortstop guy, like he might be a little lumbering, but you know, at least one time, not a bad one at all. Yeah, I'm curious to see the Rockies get back on the board and see if they go for a pitcher at some point. It's getting you're hitting the crafty zone now, where you really have to dig deep and find guys that have specific tools you're looking for.
Yeah, I like these. When we get to like mid-major, I know Clemson's not a mid-major, but Caleb Hobson, I know that's a day 3 pick, but guys like that where like they dominated in their mid-major, those are the guys I kind of just fall in love with. Mm-hmm. I really hope we see a lot of those picks. I don't know who's on the board that fits that criteria. Maybe you guys could throw out some names, but those guys that dominated in college have a little, maybe not polished, but they dominate one certain thing. Look at Hobson, good speed, great fielder, like stuff like that, where it's like there's something that will play. Like there is one thing that we know that will play. It's just can we polish the rest? And I think with No, you go.
I was going to say, yeah, not a mid-major, but Carson DeMartini out of Virginia Tech. He's got, if you're looking for one good tool, he's got some really good raw power, stick at third base. Decent hit tool, kind of, I don't think ever really made the strides that people wanted it to. But he's got the potential to be, I mean, the power at Coors Field would be awesome.
And if we're going all
really surprised he's still here.
Yeah.
Like, I thought DeMartini would be, you know, at least a mid 4th round pick, but we're kind of passing that range right now. Mm-hmm. I mean, I thought he'd probably be in the 3rd round. But if the Rockies are wanting to just load up on power, at this point, though, we have to start wondering what the eventual plan is, because you can only have so many corner guys. Truly, they're yet to really go after premium defense. I mean, Jared Thomas is athletic, can kind of do a lot, but if they're going to keep going after bats and go after power, at some point you're going to have to see, you know, positional change there.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're right. We're going to have to, like, center field is, like, always a valuable guy, and we haven't really drafted one. We talk about Jared Thomas. Fine, he has that athleticism, but is he going to stick at a spot of value? Probably not. So we have not drafted. You're right. We have not drafted an elite defense.
A true up the middle guy. Yeah. Everyone, right? I mean, on the Messina, technically, catcher is technically up the middle, but not in the sense that the athleticism of a shortstop, second baseman, or center fielder is. And Josh Caron went off the board. I definitely don't want to be talking down on any of our picks, but he was probably my favorite day 2 catcher, or at least one of them. I thought he deserved to go around higher. Just he has this like similar power to Messina, maybe more polish on the hit tool, but he went to Seattle just now. It's one more bat the Rockies now can't take. They got to be they have to be stopped.
Tyler, what's the Blake Wright overall out of 50? Out of 8.
I would say 45.
Okay. I imagine most of these guys will be 45.
Yeah, most today. I mean, it's kind of tough to like want to just throw a 40 on a guy. Like, sort of says like I don't think this guy's a big leaguer. We'll be nice to him today.
I think what we got to do now, though, is we got to have like Blake Wright here on the podcast sometime, you know, because Blake Street banter, Blake Wright, like it's just perfect.
Yeah, no,
it's like, dude, we named our channel after you.
We got Bryson Hammer on Twitter right now. He's checking out all of the draftees, liking all the draft tweets. So
I was gonna say no one else is doing it like us. I can promise you that. So the graphics and you guys bring elite knowledge to this. That I mean, we're talking 1% of the 1% type knowledge that you guys bring. Yeah, it's awesome.
I think the 1% of the 1%.
80 out of 80 grade knowledge right here for the draft.
I think those guys are making the picks. They're making picks, and we're here.
In terms of like doing it for free, like not a job.
Doing it for yeah, people who want to take their time and do this for fun though. At least, yeah.
Any Tyler, I know you're big on the West Coast guys. What's your favorite West Coast guy left?
I mean, it's kind of getting a little butchered now. Like most of the top, I was really hoping on Josh Randall, Ryan Fortucci. Miles Smith is an outfielder from Irvine that I'm huge on him, and he's definitely not an MLB's top 250, but I think he should be a mid-day 2 pick, and still waiting to hear his name. I mean, that pitching, there's Sam Stewart out of Portland. I think he's one of the next top pitchers from that
Is
area.
Toll taken? I know that's not a West Coast guy, but
Peyton Toll,
yeah, he went to the Red Sox.
He went. I don't know if surprisingly, but he went earlier than I sort of expected, like late second round. Or yeah, I think that was just a mid-second round pick.
Is Nick Brink still available? I don't think he's been picked yet.
Yeah, I think he is. I think he'll probably slide a little like late day 2, just a little less of a arm. You would want to get him?
Yeah, I'm higher on Brink than most people, but
I mean, I think he was one of the best, maybe the best pitcher in that conference.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I like Josh Randall's traits more, and same with Sam Stewart. But at the end of the day, pitchability really does matter, and I think Nick Brink has that.
He's a surefire starting pitching prospect, but not a crazy high ceiling. But I mean, you need rotation guys no matter what.
Yeah, no, and that's what we talked about that just a little bit ago. Where are the Rockies going to fill out that next year Fresno rotation? I mean, they're going to need to find some guys here mid-day 2 that fill those needs. I mean, it's funny to throw around the word need on the draft, but like you have to be able to fill out these minor league rosters. At the end of the day, that's the hard truth of the draft. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you're trying to draft some balance in the organization. You need that kind of rotation class to move together. And there, Chase Alsop is going to Baltimore. Another really solid college arm. Teams are picking that tree dry.
Nate Knowles to Tampa is probably one of the best fits so far.
I'm in Tampa right now. So what should I be looking for in a couple of years of Nate Knowles?
He's just got really good stuff. He's from mid-major, fastball tops out of 95, but just does really good spinning the ball. Might be a reliever at the end of the day with some of his command.
So like a coupe kind of.
Yeah, could be just from the right side. He's a smaller pitcher too, kind of like Coupe. But yeah, Tampa's they're gonna have a field day.
Yeah, they've gotten a lot of just good tools in this draft so far.
And we're only 7 picks away from us, so this is. I mean, we're flying by with this.
Jacob Wright to Los Angeles. That's pretty nasty. I forgot to mention him as a West Coast guy. He's got basically 3,000 RPM breaking balls. Low 90s from the left side, which that's certainly like inhibiting him from becoming like a legit starting pitching prospect. He might have to go to the bullpen and try to take up the velocity a little bit, but that's a very solid pitcher for LA to try and develop.
Mm-hmm.
I think the NL West has had a really good draft. I know LA, they had that shortstop high school guy early, but the Dodgers usually don't have a lot of money to work with.
I think that's their second pick of the draft, which is kind of funny. Yeah. I know that was the third. They got back in the third round.
Yeah.
I think it might be San Francisco. They got like stripped of. Yeah, Dakota Jordan was their second pick of the draft in the 4th round. So
Was it a signing? Was it the Blake Snell signing? Or I know sometimes
I think Snell and Chapman, both of those took second and third round picks from them.
And was Snell have like an 8 ERA? Well, that sucks.
Yeah, getting close to round 5.
Yeah, we're kind of getting that range too. If the Rockies want to take a high school guy.
Oh, there goes Carson DiMartini off the board.
But Trey Gregory Alford could be solid value here. I mean, the command's a bit of a work in progress, but you couldn't argue with them for going upside there.
Yeah, we already took one guy without command, or with command issues.
The if we ever start a football team too, we're solid with Brett.
Yeah, and Trey Gregory Alford is a big dude. I would trust him on the football field.
Yeah.
But the Blake Wright pick, we don't know at this point if that's a pick looking back to yesterday or if it's looking forward today. Because again, we don't think that the Condon or Brecht signings are going to be that far over slot, but Blake Wright is potentially again like $300,000 of savings. So there might be a plan to price somebody down. It seems like it's getting late for someone like Gregory Alford, though.
Yeah.
The later we go, the less likely he signs.
Yeah, if we're gonna go with a high school guy, like this pick is probably our best shot.
Because I think this round, I think there were 3 prep guys. 2. I think just 2 actually. So you officially hit that point in the draft where you are really, just taking college guys, unless again some kind of deal was worked out well in advance that this just makes the most sense to fit it in here. Oh, there goes another high school guy's coming off the board. Dang, Arizona's doing a crazy thing this draft. They're taking a lot of the kind of like mid-tier prep prospects that nobody really thought would even get drafted and signed, like looked more destined to their college commitments, but Arizona's taking them early enough.
This is going to be a theme, a question I'm going to ask a lot. Who's the best on the board? We've had a couple guys. Dakota Jordan's now off. Who's the best of the best or best of the rest?
I mean, I want to just again try to put myself in their shoes, but now I don't know where their shoes are. Like Connor Foley is a really interesting college arm, like a lot of power there. Like I'm trying to think in that context of the college pitching.
Yeah, there's not a ton of great college pitching available right now. Yeah, I mean, I guess probably the best guy, Dax Whitney, high school arm, but I don't know right now of high school if they're going to be doing that at all.
Yeah,
it'll be kind of interesting to see what they do with this pick because there's a lot of possibilities, but there's no crazy like great steal that's available right now.
Yeah, there's those 2 Portland pitchers that we talked about. I don't know. We don't know where the Rockies are at right now in their thought process. Like they might be looking at yet another bat to add to this class. So
yeah, I mean, I still see. I'm of course gonna be biased. I see Durant High School, Chase Mobley, that's a Hillsborough County guy, and even IMG Noah Franco. But when we go down, we could get funny with it. We could go Jared Jones. Be like, hey guys, we got Jared Jones. And then,
at first, when we took Jared Thomas, I don't know why I thought of Jared Jones and was like, oh, that's maybe a little early, but fortunately not the case.
And there you go, Malcolm Moore. Malcolm Moore, was this a fall? I feel like I saw him a lot in the top 50.
No, Malcolm Moore went like top at the like 30th pick yesterday, I think.
Gotcha. Oh, you're right. I don't know why.
Kavaris tears off the board.
He would have been good.
He was probably the best player on the board, really. But I'm like, are the Rockies really going to take another position player? And Clark Candiotti is an interesting super senior sign.
Yeah.
I like the stuff there. Makes San Diego. It's a good pick to just have a ton of money that's available to you. That's like a $400K savings.
Yeah, that's going to save a lot of money.
So the Rockies we're very close. Well, one more pick in this comp area.
Isaac Steven brings up a good point. Kavera's Tears, if I'm not wrong, that's a Tennessee guy, so can't ever go wrong with a Tennessee draft pick.
Yeah, and I'm almost surprised they didn't take him a round ago.
Yeah.
But now that the opportunity is, and yeah, Tristan Smith is ranked high. I don't really love this stuff that much, but I'm also surprised he's on the board with the lack of college pitching still available.
Yeah, if they wanted to go college pitching, he's a solid option. Good fastball from the left side. Might be a reliever though.
Yeah, no, and at this point, I'd be pretty happy with guys that maybe profile as good relievers. We're getting
We're in that range where you're gonna have some flaws in these guys, and a lot of these flaws will be reliever risk worthy.
Yeah, pretty much
But I
all
think
of it.
we definitely need a pitcher here to balance it back out. I know we talk about we need hitters, but can't do the Angels and only draft position players. That won't be great. So,
I mean, it's getting a little wild. Let's just say that. Like, this is not in any world something that I expected, even though I was thinking they were eventually going to correct the balance. But this is just so far the other way.
Because then, next year we're going to be like, oh, there's an imbalance. We have too many position players. And then we're going to take straight pitchers next year.
All right, that is the end of the comp round. So now round 5. I forget if they take a like random like couple minute break or something at some spot in the draft. I don't know when that is. I know they're going, and we got another pitching target off the board. It's good. This is crazy. Just these guys have been sitting here. I mean, if they're getting taken now, there's it's tough to set knowing that they could have gone around earlier. But we'll pick kind of just hang for now. I'm still pretty confident in that and trust the plan of saving the money. That I just don't see how it could be all to cover yesterday's picks.
Yeah, they're not going to be that crazy overfly.
Yeah, they can't be.
There's an ever pitching target too.
Yeah. I mean, at least that one's like a pretty firm reliever.
Yeah.
Is that the reliever guy? Who's the closer for Tennessee? Was that him?
I think that was
kind of he was kind of like the opener they used him in the College World Series.
Oh no, not that. I'm thinking of the guy with like a mustache or something. If I'm not wrong.
Oh, that's like Kirby Connell or something.
Oh yeah.
80 grade mustache.
Sam Stewart in the 5th round is really good value.
Yeah.
Get his team.
This is the team that got Jack at pick 6. So there's been good value for the Royals here.
Rockies taking their sweet time right now.
Oh, okay.
That's a really interesting pick.
Yeah. I was not expecting that.
Oh my gosh.
What is it? Is it Trey Gregory-Alford?
We'll again give, if anyone, I guess we're getting to a point. If anyone's still watching the draft, like, shout out to you. I know we probably don't have a lot of listeners that are hanging deep into day 2. So yeah, we could throw it out there. LeBaron Johnson Jr. from Texas.
Yeah, he's a big righty. He's got fastball that tops out at 98. Decent splitter. Stuff and release point are pretty good. But he's probably a reliever due to his command. I think he's had some injuries as well, I want to say.
Yeah, I mean, he threw a full starter workload this year. He threw 72 innings, 44 walks in that span. So yeah, definitely looking at the command. But yeah, you get power. The slider, I'm a big fan of. It's been up to 90, and just guys don't pick that thing up well. It's not like a huge breaker in any way. It's pretty tight, but definitely could be an above average slider. And you pointed out the split change. That's something that could work out too. I think they'll probably give him a chance to start. Just there's a ton of upside.
They have to, yeah.
Yeah,
there's no point in not.
Yeah.
What
glad they did kind of correct things a little bit. On another guy that probably is a little bit of a lower sign at 22. A senior. I think he's technically a senior. I think he redshirted his first year.
But yeah, honestly, I don't know. I mean, that's a never probably underslot signing.
Yeah.
But there's not a ton of college pitching on the board. Or like, yeah, so they might have just been, kind of forced to go a bit lower because I had them ranked kind of like low day 2, high day 3 range. I think a couple other people kind of had him in that same range.
Yeah, as a guy that just struggles with the command like him, and I mean, really is a 2-pitch guy at this point. Like you hope that the splitter can really develop, but for a senior sign especially, like that's not going to get you jumping up the board. So I'd be very shocked if that was not another like 200,000 of savings. I mean, this is a little bit atypical for the Rockies to go out and get seniors this early in the draft. Like they, every team is taking them late day 2, day 3. But if the Rockies are drafting with kind of typical principles in mind, like they have saved a lot of money today, and I don't know where it's been spent so far.
It's gonna be like Jared Thomas is like $2 million over slot or something.
Yeah, somehow. Well, I guess actually he because he is 21. He didn't really have leverage. Like he was a draft eligible sophomore, but basically a junior. I was thinking in my head, like, wait, did he have enough leverage to like push for at least a slot signing? I mean, I guess he still could be slot. But maybe that Condon signing. Although I don't know, because then the Rockies brass, like I didn't tune in, but yesterday people were saying they had a big group of people they were considering, and I have a hard time thinking you would go massively over slot if you had other players like Jack and maybe Hagen Smith and Weatherholt that you could have been considering. Like I don't think you would end up going over slot by much in that situation. So I just don't see it. There's a world where Condon signed for like 9.5. I really don't think that's what happened.
No, yeah.
It would make sense from the slot perspective, though. But
I think last year too, though. I mean, not as under slot as they've been so far, but like the Rockies love not spending money. They love being below slot.
Yeah,
yeah.
But usually they're within like 150K of the total pool. So I mean, they definitely want to give themselves flexibility. But right now, you would think that they're tracking for.
I think we're underestimating how much Condon might have been worth. I think this is what it signifies to me. I think we went more than we are expecting.
You might want to repost the LeBaron Johnson graphic. His name's it's like Le at the beginning. I feel like if I was him, I would want to see it.
All right, hold on. Can you delete it real quick?
Yeah.
Thank you. I was gonna say, like, when you look at that name, it does look like just LeBron.
Yeah, it's a little. You got the extra. I mean, it is LeBron with an AR in the middle.
Wait. Thank you for that. This is a fun guy.
Will Taylor in round 5 is awesome for Pittsburgh.
Oh yeah, that's a good pick.
Yeah, you got LeBron in the 5th round.
Dude.
How old is he? Is he 22?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Love all the keyboard sounds.
I know behind the scenes, I don't know how many people are still watching us. Behind the scenes, every single pick we have, I'm doing the graphics, Tyler's looking up the data, the insane data he has, and then Luke is doing a write-up. So if there's like a pause within the action, it's because we're all kind of like locked in, just doing our thing. But I'm good, so I'm gonna start doing some more research on this guy. See if this guy was a 2-sport athlete or something. We'll see.
And
I mean,
it's funny, Joe, like
really
Lane
good stuff.
points out, like another teammate matching. Like the Rockies have done a lot of just taking two guys from the same school or going back to the same school year after year. 2 Texas guys already.
You know why? You got to pay for one plane ticket. Well, this is another economics guy, so he meant baseball business is what that means. And I mean, he played offense in high school. Looks like an athlete. 17 for 19 stolen bases, but mainly was the pitcher guy. I mean, he did kind of rake. I know it's high school, but that's always fun to see. Redshirted. I mean, yeah, and was just a good pitcher in his college career. I don't know what the arsenal looks like or what kind of. I know Tyler's gonna probably give us the RPM, but I do think at worst we have a pretty good arm in the bullpen for the minor league.
For sure. I mean, if they can help him start too, like, I mean, obviously that's not a foregone conclusion, but if he
this guy's
that's
pitched
value.
deep into games before, like 7 innings against I think West Virginia, against 6.1 against TCU. So I mean, this guy has pitched a starter's load in a pretty good conference, like the Big 12. So you can't really, discount the starting ability for this guy.
Yeah, and I definitely like what he's working with. We'll have to look into kind of what might be the cause of the fastball. The fastball gets hit hard, and there's clearly some kind of mechanical things that could use to be ironed out. Interestingly, kind of like Brody Brecht as well, they're high release guys that are really getting the ball downhill. That's how they're getting the ball downhill. Like his fastball at a 42.3 ground ball rate. That's a lot higher than the average fastball. The vertical approach angle on his fastball was minus 6.68. That is one of the steeper fastballs that you'll see. So kind of a different approach for the Rockies pitching wise. They have gotten now 2 guys, higher slot, steeper fastball. Kind of cuts against the typical like model that teams are seeking, but it's something that can be effective. So you might as well find pitchers that throw like that.
Yeah, and this guy's actually pitched a couple complete games in his career, so there is that to it. I don't think they're definitely not drafting this guy as a reliever. He's gonna get a chance in Fresno to go out there and start, and I'm excited to see what Flint. What's the guy's name? Flint, the pitching coach for the minor leagues. Whatever. I'm excited to see what they can do with him, and definitely work on the repertoire as a whole.
Yeah, and he was a lot more consistent last year. I'm almost surprised he didn't sign last year. He must have been trying to go higher, bet on himself, and I mean, didn't entirely work out. Although going in the 5th round is not a bad spot.
But yeah, 2.91 ERA last year. It's really good. I mean, his command was better last year as well.
I'm curious to see year after year if there was like much change in the stuff. I mean, overall, it doesn't seem like he like progressed with his stuff this year. So, kind of the same guy, ran it back, and the command maybe tried to overcompensate a little bit and ran into command issues.
This is a guy where the coaches love him. I did one Google search, and literally like middle of the article, it's just praising his work ethic and his humility, which is something you don't really see a lot for coaches to say about somebody. So I'm excited to root for this guy. He seems like a really fun guy to root for. I'm excited to see what his career becomes.
You said he was an economics major too, right?
Yeah.
That's like the 2nd or 3rd economics major that the Rockies have.
The Rockies are trying to offload some of their financial responsibilities, creating the new minor leagues and economics staff. And there goes one of the Colorado local kids drafted to the Yankees, Grayson Carter. He touched 102 this year. So
yeah.
I thought maybe the Rockies would consider that, a relief prospect, but the Yankees are probably going to turn him into their next closer in like 3 years.
Yeah, the stuff's great there. Just if you committed.
A really interesting pick coming up. This is someone that I would have put at least a 5th round grade on. Ariel Armas from the University of San Diego. One of the best defensive catchers I've ever watched.
There you go. Okay. Wow.
I was really hoping to see him, well, at least at the end, like in the amateur ranks, like coming into the pros. Just did absolutely everything super well for college, and also has a pretty decent bat. So Chicago, I think, just got one of the bigger steals of the draft. Like very likely backup, I think, in the future. Just the glove is going to carry him no matter what.
He's so underrated. But if he
played
played
on MLB.com, so defensive catchers, I'm in love with those. I think there's going to be a base stealing renaissance soon because people love offensive catchers, and I think like a defensive guy to stop that would be awesome.
Yeah, I mean he threw out like 40% of base stealers last year. Yeah. Just really quick pop.
What are the grades for if you have them going? Just drop them for Johnson.
LeBaron. It's kind of tough, honestly. Like, I mean, the fastball, it's like the velo's great, but 1,055 OPS against it.
What would you rate Chase Burns? Because he had like a 900 OPS.
I mean, because I think people are throwing a double plus grade on his fastball. I think it's probably. I mean, if I was gonna put a 65 grade on something, I would, but I probably lean just like
60,
between 60 and 70, closer to 60. So
I think that's what the 65 is for.
Yeah, but it's sort of I don't know why it's not widely used. It's usually 50, 55, 60, 70. But I don't know why it's 65.
Fastball, what are the pitches does he bring? Is it
LeBaron?
Slider, splitter.
Yeah, slider and splitter.
And what's his control, you think? Or just drop it in the chat.
Yeah.
Also, another Colorado kid just went off the board. Grant Shepherdson.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard early that the Rockies were considering him, but I think they're kind of just a little skeptical on the prep arms to be investing a lot, and that's probably like $1 million signing.
For sure, it's definitely overslot.
Yeah, so just sort of the Rockies missed their real window unless they, wanted to kick that later down the draft. I'm kind of glad to see him get drafted. I heard he wanted to sign no matter what, so not like a signability concern guy. That's interesting, though. I mean, yeah, we talked about it yesterday whether Trey Gregory, Alford, or Shepherdson would go off the board sooner, and I think everyone, you assume there's a chance with Trey Gregory, Alford, he could have gone in the second round, but we're seeing the other likely outcome play out where he doesn't get drafted. There's another. Jacob K-Mats to Tampa. I like him a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Just a nice pitchability guy. I don't know if he's going to end up sticking as a starter in the pros, just without the power, but.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy, though. K-Mats and May going from Sandia High School to Oregon State.
They've got a good pipeline coming out of there. Because
K-Mats' younger brother's today.
Yeah.
He kind of got hurt, though, or I think he'd get a lot more draft interest.
Yeah. Did he get Tommy John? Do you know?
I don't know. I heard something, just some arm injury.
Yeah, I had heard about that too, but it's just so funny. The Sandia High School is like the Oregon State pitching pipeline.
Hey, Tyler. So this guy, fastball, 60 or 50?
50.
Okay, just making sure.
I put him in the chat. Or I guess if you were just clarifying.
That's a changeup, not a splitter, right?
I mean, I sort of just lump them together because sometimes it's hard to like truly classify them.
Yeah.
Changeup sort of just all encompassing of any related pitch type. Yeah, no, I'm happy with that pick. Like, we had to break the dry spell on pitching at some point, and certainly underrated going into this draft. I think the Rockies took him a little higher than maybe I expected, but that's a fun pick to find upside in a senior sign.
I mean, yeah, like Wright and Johnson are kind of, I mean, maybe a little early for picks, but kind of the more I've looked at them, the more I like it. I think they could be impact players in the system.
And then, I mean, it's really tough to like be mad when we have Charlie Condon come in. So.
Yeah, it's
I'm already judge.
Yeah, we can accept whatever happens.
Like, yeah, they hit a grand slam with this draft, regardless of what really happens today and tomorrow. But today and tomorrow, almost like house money, basically. So let's get some good players in.
Well, I'm really curious to see what comes out about that signing, like how much it is, because now we've seen some headlines which the Rockies are talking him up. I mean, of course, you're going to talk up your first round pick, but they are giving him extremely high praise. That almost sounds like they're laying the floor for a big overslot signing. I just don't understand why that would have to happen.
Yeah,
is he a Boris guy? Maybe.
I don't know who represents him. I mean, honestly, there's not that many more like Boris guys. I mean, there's plenty, but it's not like the top guys are just pretty default Boris. And I'm thinking with him because he was kind of I mean, of course, you can always switch, but since he was a really underrated guy going into last season, like he could have signed with a much smaller group and remained with them. So I kind of bet he's not Boris, but who knows?
I think we've beaten the MLB on the graphics every single time. So, there you go.
I mean, they have somebody yet doing this for every single one.
They have a pretty easy template, though. I'll give them that.
Yeah, I'm sure. And they might also have, like, I don't know, like certain ones for, like, the players and then inputting the team.
Yeah, that's definitely. They definitely have to have something. It's weird that they don't advertise the day two, like, at all.
I mean, yeah, just nobody cares enough, which it's kind of weird. I mean, obviously, I don't expect people to sit here all day and then certainly tomorrow, but these are the guys that comprise the majority of Major League Baseball, like rounds 3 through 6. So it's kind of odd that you wouldn't want to check. They wouldn't want to try to promote it more, and that people wouldn't want to try and like consume that content more. Yeah, I'm excited to see this round, like pick 6. I think things are just going to start to make a little bit more sense. Like maybe we're going to see kind of going chalk with cheaper signings, but like 2 senior signs in a row almost lays the floor for something a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
Trey Gregory Alford. Is he still here?
He's still here.
Yeah. I thought you just said he got picked. When you said that, I was like, oh, he got picked.
Oh, no, he's still here.
No. I mean, we're looking for a splash after these 2 picks. Like that's what I'm looking at.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I'm predicting. I don't know. There might be another guy on the board that you guys like, but let's go ahead and just regroup, actually. Best player on the board, is it still probably Dax Whitney, Chase Mobley, that type of guy?
Yeah.
Not a lot of high school guys.
You just in some ways almost take those guys off the board. Like,
yeah.
Most of them aren't going to – certainly not going to sign. Probably some of them will get drafted tomorrow at some point. Teams will just see if they can manipulate their pool enough to – give them an offer, but most of those guys are just heading to college. I'm sure we're going to still see plenty more prep guys, but
I'd say the best college arm that I like is Matt Ager out of UC Santa Barbara. Kind of had because Connor Foley just went off too. Had a bit below average season, but there's some good pitchability traits. Could be a solid starter.
Yeah, he was really good as a sophomore too. Like really good as a sophomore, and just took a big step back this year. And I know teams are always going to be looking a year behind. Like, what did he do then? That's almost as important as what he just did this year. If a guy regresses, like you feel confident in getting someone back to form. So it'd be good value to go grab someone like that. I think as we were speaking. Wait, never mind.
There's a guy who I know you guys like almost, I'd say more than the consensus. Deuce Gorson from UCLA, still on the board and a college guy.
I think he's got to go day 2. I'm a bit higher on him than the consensus. I think he should have been a mid day 2 guy, probably off the board already. Just a really polished hit tool with at least some power up the middle, like playing second base. You're not going to find guys that often that are 55 hit, somewhere between 45 and 50 power. Like that's just not a profile that you're finding all the time. At a premium position. I don't know if you want to call second base premium, but it's certainly.
Compared to what the players we've drafted today, that would be a very premium position. Or not today, but
up the middle.
Yeah, get some up the middle talent.
I'm
expecting him off, probably round 6. But also just at this point, once guys start sliding, you almost just expect that slide to continue. Like there's a reason that they are sliding. Just teams are likely overlooking something or something popped up that they just unanimously don't like so much. I don't think he has signability concerns. I mean,
it could be like a medical too. We never really know with the physicals.
Yeah, that part's always kind of a mystery until after the fact.
What we should be looking at though is which guys on the board are economics majors because that seems most likely.
Which guy economics major hasn't played football? One of those.
If you did both, then you're a guarantee.
Yeah, you're a lot. That's what we're saving for. There's probably a guy we're going to overslot.
Football, economics, you get $1 million late day 2.
Okay, we're at our pick. Tanner Jones was the last pick. Texas A&M pitcher.
Round 6.
Flying by this draft. No break. I was promised a break, Tyler.
It's got to be. I think they are going to run this through at this point.
It's quick. After
this pick, let's all get our stuff done and then take it. I'm definitely going to have to take it a couple minutes off. So 2 hours. 2 hours
we'll
straight.
Throw on. I don't know. Like maybe I'll do the Charlie Blackmon review and then just going to come back in 5 minutes.
I mean, let's plan 5 minutes after we get stuff posted. Blackmon's, because I think by the end of the Blackmon interview, it'll probably be back to around
Ooh. Okay.
Oh,
that is not how you spell Connor.
I'm good with that pick. I like it.
I'm kind of curious with that because it almost seems like his stock should have warranted him going higher. Maybe they had to overslot him by 50,000 or something like that. And
it shouldn't be crazy though. I mean,
no, I wouldn't be surprised if it was just a slot signing. So
yeah, I mean, Joe Doyle had him at 204. I had him at like 200. So it's like pretty much, just kind of a makes sense pick.
Yeah, it's just it's been odd with a lot of at least for the Rockies, a couple of senior signs, and they jump back to that that college rank. So they get I'm stoked about that. It's a lefty.
This is a good pick.
Pretty solid power.
Yeah, 97 fastball, good ride, slider, gets some good movement, kind of fringy changeup. Poor command might lead him to a bullpen role, but
you that's kind of what you're getting here. Is
you're not going to get anyone that's like a surefire, any surefire thing, but the stuff here is plus.
Yeah, especially from the left side, like it's a solid pick. So Connor Eaton. George Mason University, a little bit, older as the junior class goes. He's almost 22, but that's an intriguing left-handed arm. That is the guy that is going to be in that Fresno rotation next year.
Mm-hmm. Just super, really athletic delivery too from the left side.
Yeah, I like the kind of the whip and the arm.
Yeah.
All right.
The performance hasn't been there, but the stuff yeah, the stuff is huge.
Oh wait.
I mean, and it's interesting to see the Rockies taking kind of flyers on guys that you need to polish things up. It's not the typical mold that we've seen them go after in the past. In fixing some of those issues.
The 168th pick. We take what, like the 200th player on your board?
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much kind of when you get to this range, like
there's a large range.
30 picks, you know what I mean? Like 30 spots. They're all kind of around that same spot. So I think it's a really good pick. Good value.
Yeah, it's really tough to range in round 6. Is that? I'm gonna check. That might be the first time I've ever seen Connor spelled like that in the Rocky system. Okay, it's up, Tyler.
Okay.
What's the 44 on for George Mason? He has a 44 patch on his. Look it up. I know LSU does like the 7.
Yeah, let the secondaries get
yeah.
the job done.
Now I gotta check if he's an economic major. See, he's majoring in sports management, so relevant for his job. Drafted. Oh wait, his relative was drafted. They don't tell me what kind of relative. Was drafted by the Royals in 2018, and then made it all the way to the spring league. So a family, family guy baseball. Family, it runs in the blood, basically.
Sweet. I mean, that's a very solid one.
Good prep guys, like highly touted almost. Goes to the Atlantic 10 conference, which is mid-major ish. I'd say mid-major actually, and he's got good strikeout stuff. If I'm not wrong, he struck out 10 batters against St. Bonaventure. Yeah, I mean, honor roll guy, so he's going to be a great.
Yeah, the Rockies are digging up on the good grades, guys. But all right, let's reconvene a little before at 7th round, and right before that, Matt Ager, who we talked about, gone. But yeah, we'll be back round 7. Anyone's still sticking around?
Yeah. All right, I'm back. Interesting draft so far. Let's see. Second round or sixth round. I cannot talk. Jacob Friend, catcher I liked, goes to Cincinnati. But let's look within division. I'm not going to be able to give you great analysis on these guys. Of course, we go Connor Ian. And, I mean, division successful, so we got to wait. Robert Hipwell, third baseman from Santa Clara, goes to the Giants. I think that's their fourth or third pick. They haven't made a lot of picks because the signings they made. Grant Knipp is a guy from Campbell. I know this guy. This guy's sort of a two-way player. And I think he has like a power or something. It's always fun to get out of the park baseball. But yeah, I can kind of play everywhere on the diamond, and if I'm not wrong, I can do two-way. It's embarrassing if you can't. Guess not. But yeah, good power guy. There you go. I have someone to talk to because I lose too many viewers. Grant Knipp, always great in out of the park baseball for me.
So yeah, he had a crazy amount of home runs this year.
Yeah, good power guy. I thought he was a two-way guy, but I guess
yeah. Not. He honestly was he just. Oh yeah, he was picked as a two-way guy.
Oh, he is. You're right. Right. He is. He's like a reliever though.
Yeah, he's just a reliever, but he's got really good stuff. But hit 402 with 18 home runs this year.
Yeah, it's a good pick. Seattle. We're at the point where not all these names I know, but some of them will point out. I know Griffin here.
I know we're at the point where there's guys that aren't on my 620 player draft board. So,
which one? How many picks have not been on that board?
I don't know, like 4, 5 so far. It's not a ton, but yeah.
Zero on their slot.
It's starting to get to that point.
Yeah, I mean, these guys, they have more money and just resources to really scour every single player.
Mm-hmm.
But we are pretty close to the Rockies' next pick, or at least a couple picks away. Let's see.
I can't believe we're almost in the 7th round.
I was supposed to say it's flying by, and that's good because college football comes out today, and I want to play. But we're almost getting to the point where, money-wise, there isn't. In my mind, there's not really an advantage anymore with money. I think most teams are kind of, I don't want to say even, but close to that. Like if you were going to go over slot, you kind of already did that already.
Yeah.
And now it's very much like sticking to slot or a little bit around it. We see like, $20K here and there go up or down.
Most teams are probably going under slot here or a good amount, but I'm still hoping the Rockies can make a move, go over slot with a high schooler, but yeah.
There's always hope. So
yeah.
TGA still on the board. If we've saved money, do you think Connor Ian would have been a money saver?
Yeah, he's probably right on slot. I mean, maybe a bit, but I don't think any. I think like Johnson and Wright for sure were money savers, but I don't know about Eaton as much.
Let me see. And then Eaton has fastball, slider, changeup. So much like LeBaron Johnson, that same repertoire.
Yeah, just from the left side. So
there you go. Yeah, is he 22 too?
Let me check. I mean, he was only a junior, not a senior.
Okay, so
I can check that. Yeah, he's 21.
Okay. I just gotta get on these ratings. Still, I mean, I know like Dax Whitney probably isn't gonna sign, but
yeah, I doubt at this point.
Yeah, the high school.
I mean, this is kind of where the board on the MLB Draft Tracker just kind of gets filled up with a bunch of high schoolers that aren't going to sign. So
Can I sort that? No. Of course not. Is there another draft board I can use?
I don't think so. Nothing that's like, that updates that well.
Let's see. Let's see who's left. Zach Stewart is still here from Missouri State.
I would love if they could pick him. Lots of power from the left side.
Let's say that's a good lefty power bat, and especially around 7. I mean, that's a value pick. Like
Yeah.
100%.
At this point, you're just trying to find guys with 1, 2 really above average tools that can make a difference.
Maybe we take another Iowa guy. We go Sam Peterson.
That could be good. I like him. He's a solid outfielder. Makes a good amount of contact. I don't know if he played football, though, so.
Yeah. I don't know. They kind of need all the help they can get. So. Then
Derek Bender, that would have been good. I mean, kind of like Cole Messina, power hitting catcher, but.
How about like an Anthony Silva?
Me too.
He's
great defense at shortstop. He was kind of, a lot of people had him like first round projection going into the year, and he just didn't really hit. But I mean, you can't argue with like Gold Glove level defense.
No, especially now. Like we saw Ryan Ritter. I know he probably doesn't have the pop that Ryan Ritter had in the 4th round, but like, you can still bank on that defense. And hey, can we develop a hit tool? That's a positive player. Tyler, can you drop the ratings for Eaton very quick? Fastball, slider, changeup, control. Thank you. And then,
Oh, another guy, Xander Darby out of UC Santa Barbara. Really good bat. Kind of an ever corner guy, third base. But, I mean, at this point, you're just trying to get 1 or 2 plus tools.
Yeah, and just seeing if something sticks 100%.
Yeah, there's been a lot of bats that are, not the high upside guys, as you're mentioning, but a lot of them with very functional tools that are still available. I mean, I guess it's still round 6. We're not super late yet.
Yeah, we're not anywhere crazy, but
a lot of guys that just had expectations for midday 2, and we're getting towards the end of midday 2.
Yeah,
getting towards day 3 or late day 2.
Well, there's the Missouri State guy that, I mean, I think that's a home run pick right now.
Yeah, Zach Stewart. He's really underrated. Once again, and just major guys are just really, they don't get as much love as they should. I mean, which is tough, especially because there's a huge dip in quality of competition for sure. But
there's always that added question mark.
Yeah.
And that's why these guys slip even if they're dominant. Hobson is a guy I'm always going to use as an example.
When I guess Zach Stewart has some extra leverage that on draft day next year he'll be 21 still. So I'm thinking at this point Zach Stewart is getting into signability rank, like the concerns about signability kicking in. That he can go back to another year and re-enter the draft still as a 21-year-old.
Maybe even transfer. I don't know if he's loyal or like hometown.
Yeah, I don't know if he hit the portal, because if he hit the portal, then he has extra leverage to say, I have a great opportunity with NIL.
I don't think he hit the portal. I
wasn't sure if I saw that name.
I was gonna say, I think we would know. Like we would have remembered. That's not something that like kind of goes under the radar. He did enter the portal.
Oh, he did. Okay.
Let me check. I just see a title. 3 more Bears enter the transfer portal, and his name is in it. Just kidding. He didn't.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it.
No. Yeah. I wonder if there's ties to that school because I know it's a smaller school. Cool logo, Missouri State. Probably the coolest logo out there. Yeah, let me actually look where he's from.
That's crazy. We're almost at pick 200. That's, yeah. This draft has flown by pretty quickly.
Yeah. I mean, day 2 is like the most fun because a lot of these guys are, going to end up pretty legit prospects, but we are getting there at the end. Of course, now the draft tracker is not loading for me right now. There we go.
This is going to slow her around. I know.
So now we are jumping in all the picks from round 6 are in, going to 7.
Yeah. Mason Marriott, that's a good pick for Arizona. Good arm.
Okay, so his father played for Missouri State. So I wonder if there's just like a coach or something there that brought loyalty.
I wish on the MLB.com draft tracker you could filter out.
We were just talking about that.
That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you can once it's done, which is really annoying. But
there's just so many high school guys now that are.
Yeah, it's like the top 40 on their list are high schoolers.
Yeah. And they might get drafted tomorrow just for teams as like an insurance policy, but yeah.
And then the ones that are from colleges or sophomores. So it's like there's a reason that everyone that's at the top of their board is there. I guess a couple of those guys, like Cody Schreier, I'm not very high on him, but he has, a lot of pedigree as a former first-round prospect coming into high school. I heard you mention Xander Darby, Deuce Gorson, Nick Brink. We've mentioned a lot of those guys that I'm surprised are still here.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing round 7, we'll at least see 1 or 2 of those guys go.
For sure.
We haven't really got any like my guys. Or the Grant Nips of the world or the John Spikerman. So hopefully we can.
Spikerman was
know about, especially these late rounds.
It'd be fun to get like just a very interesting, unique prospect. Like everyone so far, nothing that you can complain about, but there hasn't been that guy that the archetype stands out on its own.
Mm-hmm. Oh, now MLB.com takes a break.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I don't know why they do it round set. Now it's like, actually, I think what happens is they actually just leave. Like,
this guy's got it.
Yeah,
I think Callis and Mayo and
that's right.
The broadcast is done, and they'll just have the guy in the room read him off with a monotone voice.
Is Zach Tolia related to Michael Tolia? They look similar. Are they brothers?
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, dude, that's literally him. Like,
yeah, I honestly would not condone drafting him.
No.
I mean, maybe not drafting him, but he's more of like a day 3, round 15 and beyond guy, like a first baseman without really a standout tool of any kind.
Yeah, day 3 pick, late day.
Speak to me with Brent Iredale. I've taken this guy a couple times out of the park, and he turns into a pretty average player most of the time.
I'd like if they could get Iredale.
New Mexico too, if I'm not wrong. Like both you guys are down there. So.
Yeah, Yeah, he's from Australia. Good power projection. Can play short, but is probably more a third baseman. I think there's been a few contact questions, but he did really well this season. Made a lot of strides. I would love if they could get him here. That'd be good value.
Yeah, there's still some pretty. I mean, I'd say like a Colby Shelton.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he's a senior.
So I think Shelton's a sophomore. Yeah,
He's 02 though. That's why I said that 02 was like. Oh, he's a late 02, so never mind.
Yeah, but even then, I guess though, he's not the type of sophomore that has that much leverage.
No, yeah.
Like if you're going to turn 22 this year, like your leverage is non-existent.
Yeah.
Like I guess the leverage is I have eligible, but you wouldn't want to run your eligibility as a draft prospect.
Hey, how about Bobby Bozer from USF? I've never heard of this name, so.
Yeah, Bozer's solid. Where's my write-up on him? Yeah, he's got some good pops. He had 27 home runs over the past 2 seasons. Short swing. He can expand the zone a bit too much. He was kind of landlocked at second base. Probably this is kind of when his range starts coming up.
Is the Coco Montes because USF is that going to be there, or is that
I mean, yeah, second baseman's from the same college. It's not a crazy comp actually.
Yeah. I mean, it's like just all around decent tools at the plate, ability to play second and short, probably second baseman mostly. So I think I can see that.
Yeah, normally when it's like they can play second and short, normally it's just like shortstop if we're like we need it for that one game.
Yeah, if you need it.
Like you don't want this guy to be relied on to be a shortstop. Who do you think? I know like defense matters, but the best hit tool left, the best just raw hitter left, hit and power. I know it's a weird question because there's people on the board that you're probably phasing out because you don't think they'll be drafted.
Maybe Shelton. I would give at least. Is probably. He does a really good job of getting loft on the baseball. Maybe Xander Darby, really good hit tool, some pop. Zach Stewart has some contact questions. It's just tough to know right now because these guys shouldn't be here typically. So you don't know if they're not signing or if there's an injury or something.
It's a weird draft because this is my first really time analyzing MLB draft, and any other draft, like I'm big on the NFL draft, but that's so simple. It's like if you're good, you'll get drafted. If you're eligible, you can't really go back to college once you put in your paper to become a draft. Mm-hmm. Here, it's like, hey, is this guy on the board? Is it a medical thing? Is he going back to school? Like as a viewer, we have no clue. Like there's another question to it. It's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I think most of them, if they're on the board at this point, I think teams are just not entirely sold on the talent. Or not. And it's like talent maybe isn't the right word, but like entirely convinced they're going to immediately become good pros. Like the ones at least that don't have leverage. Like if you're a junior, at this point, I think there's a big question mark around some part of your profile, your prospect profile. Like, oh, this guy, don't know if he's actually going to hit for any power, that kind of thing. Like there's some sort of concern with players if they were projected to go earlier and they're still here without leverage. But also, it is still round 7. We're still in that healthy range where it's not a terrible thing to still be here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're about double the 150K for the day 3, so we're still like money wise, we're still doing pretty healthy right now.
I mean, they should have money to spend. Like if someone mentioned in the chat that maybe Brecht was a big, like you had to go over slot to like secure that. I think at this point, that's the only thing that can make sense unless like currently they're sitting on like $400,000 because of 2 senior signs in a row. You don't see that very often. Middle of day 2, really early day 2.
And there's no one that should be crazy over slot. I mean, I know Condon and Brecht maybe, but like they shouldn't be. I don't know.
No. It'd be surprising. I mean, I could see with Brody.
I can see Condon's aging
a couple hundred.
Yeah, I can see Condon.
It's just tough though with collegiate players to go much over slot. I mean, that first pick, I think the reason the Rockies got Condon is because they were willing to pay
That's
a little bit over slot. But there's just not that much room to go up from there. Maybe 200,000 at most, like 350K would be over slot for him. I mean, again, I think that Blake Smith pick made up for that, and then LeBaron Johnson makes up for most whatever Brody Brett might have been over slot for. So at this point, they should at least be even, if not with a little bit of flexibility.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they should have flexibility, but playing devil's advocate, like they're at least even right now.
At worst, we're even. Yeah, I get that.
But probably, they probably have about 200K in flexibility right now. And whether I'm sure day 3, there's going to be someone on day 3 that is a little bit over slot. Like that always happens. There's usually 1 or 2 guys in their class every year that.
I was going to say the last 2 years, round 7, we've spent on average $130,000 over slot. Last 2 years.
Over slot, okay.
So, there's good trends there for round 7. Last year was a weird one where we did a lot of under slot, and then we really spent big on round 3 and round 7. I don't know what picks those were, but
I'm trying to think. Yeah, what round 7 would be if you're not taking a high schooler. It's hard to go, more than 50 to 100K over slot at this point in the draft. I'm guessing they're going to come back at 2 p.m. for this.
Hopefully.
Seth Halverson. Wait,
that's so funny. Seth Halverson was like 23 or something, right?
Yeah, he should have been. I think he was under slot, Halverson.
Yeah, I'm looking around 8. Oh, I see. It's Cade Denton was the guy.
But he was still what, like 100K over slot?
140. 170, my bad.
Really?
109 was the other guy. But on average, it's like 140 for the best 2. So yeah.
That's a lot. Yeah, that's a lot more than I thought. I mean, boy, he was round 6, though, right?
He was round 6. It's the 7th pick. I the way the spreadsheet is, I didn't do the comp rounds. I just did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there was just one in there. But we do have a history of spending more on a singular pick in the middle rounds.
I mean, it's sort of just the way you got to go. Like, at some point, you're interested in players that don't fit exactly where you're trying to pick them. So
2022, I think will be like the more interesting draft class of all time for us. Gabe Hughes saved us $1 million, and we really ate rounds 3 to 8. And you can see that with the system too. Yeah, that's awesome. That's the Ritter draft, right? If I'm not wrong.
I think so.
Yeah,
I think he was round 4.
That would make sense because they played a full year in Fresno, basically. That's the Palmquist Ritter draft. So, you saw the underslot value, and in my head, sometimes you don't really see the value in the overslot guys, but I think looking at that, you really do.
Well, and then Stain, Persecki were both a hair overslot, but that might be the difference between and Zach Agnos. That might be the difference between those guys being more willing to talk to teams and go a round earlier, a half a round earlier, than saying, all right, we got a deal. Unless someone picks us that we don't want to pick us, well, you're our team.
We're back on 2:00. Dylan Feehan, high schooler catcher, goes to the. I think he's a local guy for Oakland, so there you go. That's fun.
Yeah.
No moving costs there.
They got to find some way to save money.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see how this class goes for them money wise. Obviously they started the draft off with $2 million, $3 million in savings. So
their second pick was Tommy White. It's Tommy White, and that's for me. That's
White is not going over slot at that spot.
Yeah,
that's the exact opposite
under slot. I mean, I think Gage Jump too probably was under slot as well.
Yeah, but I think
they might start really running the board. I mean, they've taken now two high scores in a row, so they might start kind of running a trend here. I like their class though.
You have to spend 95% of your money. You can't save it, so you can't just not.
I mean, there really ends up being no point in saving it. It's the most efficient way
Yeah.
to spend money on players. Like if you're not going to spend money in free agency, you're going to spend money in the draft.
Which if we've seen like a team like the Rockies spend money in free agency, doesn't go too well.
Dennis Colleran off the board to KC. He's a pretty intriguing relief prospect.
Mm-hmm. Good arm.
Super boomer bust, but like there's the talent there to turn in a high leverage reliever.
I'm excited for this one.
All right, this Rockies pick. Let's see if they going to do it. I mean, those are two pretty high profile picks to start the round off. So
let's carry the momentum.
It gives, yeah, exactly. Don't do another senior sign. That would actually be a little bit of a buzzkill.
No, like yeah, it would be.
Sign. Just we've done that.
Oh, Fidel Ulloa, LSU.
Okay.
I got my report on him. This is kind of higher than I'd have picked him. Kind of played 1 year at LSU, was a JUCO transfer. Probably just a
mustache.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
80 grade mustache, 97 mile per hour fastball, has like a slurvy slider. Doesn't really have a third pitch, and command is fine for a relief role.
Yeah,
but it's the mustache you're drafting,
Yeah, you're drafting the mustache.
I mean, both pitches were pretty effective, so I like this as maybe just immediately putting him in the bullpen and hoping to fast track a reliever out of this class.
Yeah.
Like that might be Ulloa. Because like you said, up to 97, averaging 94.
Is he a right?
Yeah, he's a right-hander.
So there you go.
Yeah, I mean, like Johnson and Eaton, I'd let them start at least, but I think Ulloa's just put him in the bullpen.
Yeah, I don't mind that at this point in the draft. If you're gonna hunt arms that have a good chance to become bullpen pieces, like I wouldn't hold back at this point in the draft doing that.
I like having the purpose within the pick too. Like, hey, we're gonna put this guy in the bullpen, just like straight up.
Well, it is kind of another like that's probably not a slot signing. I mean,
probably not.
Maybe it is, but like
first thing I thought.
Probably a little underslot again.
Well, the mustache though.
Mm-hmm.
10,000 on top of whatever the agreement was for the mustache.
Yeah. Fidel Ulloa, elite name, elite mustache. I'm a big fan of these relieving prospects too. Did he start in college in his 1 year at LSU?
No.
Okay. So this is this guy has not pitched a lot.
Like unless there's always a couple guys that they do the opposite of like that's a reliever that you try to turn into a starter. I just don't see where that would.
Yeah, I don't think with your he lacks a third pitch.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, maybe like he's thrown a changeup a little bit. Oh no, actually, he's thrown a curveball.
Oh really?
Not something that he threw it 11 times this year. Like it definitely has. It has pretty good drop on it, honestly. But like if you throw it 11 times, I'm sure that means it's not something you're confident.
It's up, Tyler.
Okay.
Make sure I didn't misspell anything. Well, hold on. I put the wrong pick.
And they're getting a lot of power breaking balls. That's something I'm starting to notice. Like his slider touched 89 this year, typically sitting 85 to 87. So I like getting power breaking balls.
Yeah, me too. You said it topped out at what again?
The slider hit 89 this year.
Oh, cool.
When did Andrew Tucanis just get drafted? Oh my god. That's good. I didn't even really think he entered his name into the draft.
Ulloa or whatever. Great name. This guy's got a lot of like we see like Jake Cave, Connor Joe. He's got a lot of that like potential to be like a fan favorite.
No, yeah, for sure.
That's an overslot value if you're asking me.
Oh, dang. Some good players are going off the board here.
Is it flying right now, the draft?
Oh yeah, Phil Fox, Bridger Holmes, Will Watson. Those are all solid.
Phil
They make-
Fox. I mean, that name.
Phil Fox.
Are you 80? Phil Fox.
I really wonder what the story is with Andrew Ducanich. Like, he barely threw at Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
Dude,
Turned
that's
down
awesome.
first round money at a high school 2 years ago.
You get Bridger Holmes and Will Watson. You get Holmes and Watson back to back.
They should meet up and.
That'd be a great 1-2 punch in the bullpen.
So
I wonder. I mean, there was Tony Watson for the longest time. I guess I doubt he played with a
Holmes. 80 great mustache.
But yeah, I mean the fastball jumps out of Uloa's hand. I mean it's not bad, for reliever. It's some pretty good stuff there to like. I mean, I don't think any of the Rockies picks have been expected, and maybe there's a guy or two on the board you'd rather take, but I don't think any of them have been kind of oh my gosh, where did they come up with that?
Yeah, I can see the logic in the room. If these picks aren't these aren't picks. I can see where they're coming from with a lot of these picks. But yeah, go ahead and just drop the ratings, Tyler, if you have them.
And I mean, I'm really just starting to think, there's got to be some bigger plan either later today or early tomorrow.
Yeah,
they are not taking guys that just typically would go in this range. They're good pro prospects, but they are also not the top guys you could be selecting.
Yeah.
How old is Uloa? Is he?
He's 20.
Yeah. 21?
A mid 21 and a half, basically.
Oh, yeah. That's awesome. Thank you.
I'm giving him the 40 overall since he's a reliever.
That's fair. Although I feel like relievers are only ranked higher. At least yeah, I see what you mean.
I mean, what we're seeing now too is the Rockies, because kind of earlier we're it was just kind of mainly bats, but now, what is that, 3 pitchers in a row?
Yeah, back to the kind of the typical model, which I think I personally think that's the best way to draft. You want to get a pitcher early, but otherwise it's get a quantity of pitchers.
Yeah,
focus on getting quality bats though.
I'm on the mindset. I mean, it's just different with each team, but it's a lot easier to develop pitchers than it is hitters, in my opinion, at least. If they need command or maybe a velocity striker or two. So you can't get really the raw power of Cole Messina or Charlie Condon's bat anywhere else in the draft. So
but yeah, in theory, every pitcher, unless they've already gone through some kind of developmental program, they all have a chance to add 1 or 2 miles per hour in a year if certain things get tweaked. So you can, you got to look at so many different things, just their pure athleticism, some of the arm talent. But that's just, you can find that a lot more commonly than you can a good pro level hitter. That dries up pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you could find guys I know last year, the Rockies hit guys in the teens that have turned into Austin Eminer last year is now, he's in a rotation in the minor leagues. And I think they've made some changes to his delivery that are allowing him to throw a little bit harder. So
yeah,
that's when you find round 14 and he's a lefty that might start a little bit in the minor leagues. That's not a bad outcome, but I don't think you're finding bats in that range that are going to.
Yeah, I think
23 years old.
I think if value wise, I know it might not be a tremendous position value wise, he's gonna have value in the system more than a bat. If you don't think a bat will develop, there's no point in taking him over this guy.
Yeah, just pitching, there's a lot more opportunity to. I mean, you can also just completely not work out at your draft position, but there's much bigger chances to progress, whereas hitters, I don't think the same exists. Will Turner's pretty good.
Yeah, he really fell. I mean, he was a lot of people kind of had him second round comp going into the year, but he just
yeah. I was gonna say I figured he was just gone at this point. I mean, see, it's a really solid hit to like probably throw a 55 on the hit.
Mm-hmm.
It's not bad to find with some athleticism in round 7. I guess has Ian Petritz been picked out of Alabama?
I don't think so. That'd be a sneaky good pick. Oh, Miles Smith just went, by the way.
Miles
Are you
Smith
serious?
in
Yeah.
the
I'm telling you,
BSB.
that dude is going to be really good.
A lot of
Yeah,
power.
I mean, he might not end up hitting for a ton of power, but
Okay.
I mean, the swing looks like he eventually could add a lot of power too. So
The official BSB mock draft, he was the last pick of the first round.
no, that was Miles Bailey.
Miles Bailey. There you go, my bad. Yeah. Different Miles.
Yeah, Ian Petritz is still sitting there. I think he might be. He's at least a 50 hit, 50 power guy in my eyes. Potentially,
Yeah, I agree.
a little bit higher. I'm shocked that I figured he went like round 4 or 5, and I just didn't see it.
No, yeah, there's no reason a guy that hit like 321 with 6 home runs, more walks than strikeouts in the SEC this year isn't.
Yeah, he makes a ton of contact.
Yeah.
With like average raw power, that just should be. I mean, we'll see.
Yeah, I had a 4th round grade on him. Like,
Yeah, I would have been around the same range. Yeah. Yeah, Cincinnati, they've taken a few guys. Like they got Tyson Lewis earlier, now Miles Smith. They might have given us Charlie Condon, but they're loading up on some solid guys.
at what cost?
Would you rather have their first round and then it's just
Yeah, I'll take Condon still, but
yeah.
Hey, Tyler, would you take Chase Burns in a good day 2 or Condon in what we've had? Or not a good day 2, elite day 2 or Condon in what we had today?
I mean, probably.
No
I
way.
think the Rockies made their choice very clear. I'd probably go what we've got. Like I trust.
Okay. I was gonna say, I think Condon's ceiling is so much higher than I think any. I don't know. The odds Condon reaches an all-star player, it will be greater than what would have been in the middle round.
Yeah.
If we got someone else.
I mean, we have a Chase Burns as well that can also play football. So, it's like,
Yeah.
Yeah, we have.
I think
we got the best stuff in the draft.
I think we got to look at this.
Quite, but very close.
Yeah, I think we got to look at this. I don't really want to be critical because I mean, at the end of the day, we're round 7, and like I know nothing about these guys anymore. Like my expertise is long out the window for round 7. I just feel like we saw last year a lot of picks got kind of laughed at, or not laughed at, like criticized, and they ended up being the right picks. So I trust Bill Schmidt even more with the Condon pick. So we'll see.
I mean, you just look at their last 2 draft classes. Like, it's really solid throughout this range.
Mhm.
So I do trust it.
Ivan Buffalo,
yeah.
That's good value there. It's priced
He reminds me, and it's kind of a crazy comp, but he honestly reminds me of Giancarlo Stanton.
Mhm.
Obviously, a way toned down version, but the swing and the setup is kind of similar. And then he's a huge dude also, so that's good value for Chicago.
Yeah.
And then Brock Borges, that's one of the best relief prospects I think in the draft.
Oh, for sure.
Fidel Uloha, his mom is a painter. No, his dad is a painter, and his mom is a winery supervisor.
Oh my god,
So,
that's like RT to the max.
Yeah. So there you go. Like I don't know what that means for his pitching style, but let's see.
I'm watching these Ivan Brethar clips right now. Dude is good.
Yeah.
For someone who's like 6'5" to be able to swing with as much kind of fluidity that he does and that much power. And there goes Nick Brink now too. We're just getting so many of the guys that I got to get familiar with are just getting plucked now.
I know.
This is a strong round for the West Coast players.
Yeah, you always seem to have a really cool story. His dad was an immigrant, painted houses to get by. So he's actually like when he's in Fresno, he's gonna be super local, like that area, like Stockton sort of area. So his dad played in the Mexican League. Yeah, his dad played in the Mexican League.
He stayed pretty local his whole life. Like San Joaquin is like in Lodi or very close by it. Yeah, that's a cool one. Not far from Fresno. That's like a probably 2-hour drive or less to Fresno.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's a cool story.
Like that whole Northern California range is so. There's a city just north of Fresno called Chowchilla. Like it's right on whatever the main freeway is that connects a lot of those California League cities. Chowchilla. Yeah, this is a lot of solid starting pitching.
Yeah, I'm excited. I mean, this one, the story is fun. Hopefully, we'll see him in Fresno. You know, that'll be fun. Little hometown guy or hometown-ish.
Yeah, I'm sure that Stephen Rice he knows about that one and is excited.
Yeah.
If they can get Uloa to develop that changeup too, I mean, his stock could really rise. Having 2 solid off speeds would just really help him.
Yeah, like he's already like as is potentially, going to get on an MLB radar as a kind of low leverage reliever. But
yeah,
if he adds another pitch, it could make him a viable reliever in that way.
For sure.
Not just the guy that gets a look or as depth and stuff. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I'm okay with that in round 7.
Yeah, for sure.
This has been a pretty crazy draft too. Like like not just with the Rockies, but there hasn't been like that many high school picks. Like
it has toned off hard.
Yeah, like there's
like a 1 or 2 per round for a little bit there.
Yeah,
I don't think we've seen one this round. Or I guess there was Dylan Feen at the top.
Yeah.
And Cam Sullivan, but
yeah, even some of the
is like a
guys just, round. I'm shocked they didn't get drafted earlier. It's just Ooh,
it seems a few more than usual of like the top prep guys staying on the board.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's just a lot of
maybe the top 20 of the top 35, 40. Actually, probably more like 20 of the top 40 are going to college. I mean, if you count William Schmidt.
Yeah, this is a shame, though. We've had Cates, Brink, Mason Molina. I mean, that's just 3 really good starting pitching prospects.
This is just a lot of solid guys right now.
Yeah.
I'm still bummed about Brink. I think he'll be I don't think his ceiling's very high, but
yeah, I agree. But I mean, like, probably a 4 or 5 starter. But like, hey, those guys produce a lot of WAR over a while.
Yeah, I don't see a world where he doesn't get to the big leagues.
Yeah,
Brink. So disappointed. He's mid-7th. That's crazy.
Yeah. Dude, I'm still so sad. Austin Cates out of UNLV. I really liked him. He was really underrated.
Yeah.
Really
Any other Mountain West guys left? I know Cates just got taken, but
a lot of day 3 guys, kind of. I think.
Yeah, I mean, it was a decent year for the conference in terms of creating like day 3 prospects.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of who.
Nevada's got a guy.
I like J.R. Preedy. That might be.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
I like his hit tool a lot.
I mean, not Mountain West, but New Mexico. We talked about him earlier. Brett Iredale, still on the board. Home run pick in my eyes.
He'd be great value here.
And the one, I mean, yeah, for us, New Mexicans, the one guy from New Mexico, Dane Pengelly, he probably doesn't go day 2, but I think he gets drafted at some point the rest of the way. He's up to 97. He's funky, so.
Yeah, he's got a great delivery. I don't know how he repeats it.
I know. It is crazy. I mean, that almost looks like low-hanging fruit that if you can kind of create some more consistency, reduce some of the effort there, that might help out a lot.
Yeah.
He doesn't
I would
look
love
like
if Jake Holland gets picked, but I don't know. I think undrafted's most likely just because of his age.
Yeah, between Holland and Smith, both of them are like solid catchers in their own right. But I mean, Holland crushed this year.
Yeah.
Just as a fifth-year guy, you never know.
Oh, that might be another guy that goes. Jay Thomason out of Air Force might go today.
Oh yeah, I always forget about Air Force guys.
I know it's always weird.
Championship.
You never know if they're going to sign or not, and then yeah.
Didn't they dominate the championship game for Mountain West?
I think it was like Fresno or San Jose State.
But they were definitely a good team this year.
Yeah,
I think it was Fresno State then.
They had a really good pitcher too. Air Force, usually guys don't put up numbers like that, but
the Dodgers got Elijah Heinlein. I think he should have been inside the top 200.
Yeah, he just had a bad junior season, but he produced everywhere else. Brad Sears too was an interesting pick by the Braves. He's 24, but I mean, he could be in AAA tomorrow. He's that advanced.
And getting guys like that at this point in the draft are like an arm that you're confident it's going to crack your 40-man roster. That's pretty sweet. And for them, that's probably a day 3 slot that you're getting, like 150.
For sure,
even way less. So, the second Presbyterian college player of the draft.
Oh, Dragu.
Yeah, with an all-time name. Almost round 8. Need to see something.
Yeah, he had a 401 with 18 home runs this year. Good contact hitter. Not a bad pick actually for right now.
Yeah, I'm kind of waiting for one of those guys that the Rockies take where you're like, that guy should have gone a couple rounds earlier.
That's my only complaint so far with today. There's not been a huge, great value pick.
Yeah, just everything has been, getting guys that you like, you're comfortable with at spots that it's justifiable to take them. I gotta switch my mouse to the other side with my wrist. It's getting tired. Yeah, this was a loaded round, I think.
Yeah.
Round 7.
I think a lot of teams capitalized on oh wow, this guy's still here. In a pick.
Teams are just letting people fly down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would guess with someone like Kobe Sheldon that he's just going. It's weird since he's not young for the year, but I guess he's probably going to go back to Florida. I don't think anyone envisioned a world he'd be like an end of day 2 prospect.
No, not at all. Yeah. I mean, I had a second round grade on him, which might have been a little high, but
I thought he would go for sure by round 4.
Yeah.
And we got Sean, comment from Sean. Thanks for stopping by, Sean. First comment we've had, there's life.
Yeah, since the break.
I mean, yeah, anyone tuning in at this point, round 8, basically, I respect that.
I'm thinking tomorrow we try and do a space. And we just like, hey, come on, voice your opinion about the Rockies draft so far. And then
It's not a bad idea.
Oh yeah.
pass some time. Get the community involved,
That's the part. I'm curious to hear like more thought out, rationalized versions of thoughts and opinions instead of just someone's one liner.
Sell the team. No.
There goes another Rafe Parrish to Texas.
Oh, that would have been.
He
That would
should
have
have
been
gone a round or two earlier for sure.
for sure.
So
Yeah, we're starting
it's hard to
to-
track a lot of these guys being available, but there's still plenty of good players out there.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, but do you have some money? Oh, we'll see. I think like Uloa, it's such a fun story because like this is a guy that's gonna get to play baseball professionally after his dad immigrated. Like I'm sure life wasn't easy as a first generation immigrant in his family. So it's just always fun to see someone like fulfill their dream. Now his dream's probably to make the major league, but like that one step closer to that. It's just so cool.
Yeah, to be like a mid-day 2 pick is a pretty respectable way to
Yeah,
enter the
that's
pros.
very
But Rafe Parrish, that's a really good value.
Yeah, I can't believe he was still here.
I forgot that he was.
Davis Diaz. Wait, Davis Diaz, a catcher? That can't.
Wait,
be
that's
right.
really weird. Yeah, no,
That can't be right.
that has to be a typo.
They're doing what I
It's
said.
like-
They control.
Dude, Vanderbilt has really like fallen off. I mean, like Davis.
I was gonna say, yeah, they were the baseball powerhouse when I was like
Yeah.
a freshman in high school.
Those
I
were
was like,
huge prospects that aren't, I mean,
Yeah.
haven't really didn't improve. But there's no way he's a catcher. That's
what position do you guys think what position did he play?
I mean,
like second base, shortstop.
yeah, he played. I
Okay,
guess he
yeah.
only played third this year.
Oh,
I
really?
think
That's-
last year he played a lot of short.
yeah.
So
There you go. Another Duke pitcher. I think it's the third Duke pitcher taken. So
Rockies on the clock. All right, let's get ready. Yeah, get those hands ready.
I think on my last
they have
two-
him as they truly did draft him as a catcher. Like
That's crazy.
I don't know.
Yeah. I don't even think his arm's like that great.
that's
Yeah, I know.
you never see someone become a harder position, especially catcher. That's weird.
But I guess they're thinking the bat could profile better at catcher if they. But it's just so weird to make that switch kind of out of nowhere.
Who's the Austin
Luke
Jackson?
Jewett.
James?
Yeah, Luke Jewett, I like that a lot.
That's not bad value. That's pretty good, actually.
At this point in the draft, I'm a fan of that.
Who's
Yeah,
the pick?
that's-
Luke?
That's
Luke
definitely one that I imagine they saved a little bit of money and kicked it up. Maybe kicked that pick value up to $250K.
Yeah, it's nothing. That can't be anything crazy though.
But I'm a huge fan of that. He was the best.
Yeah, I'll
He's
take
like
it.
one of the best pitchers UCLA's had in like 2 or 3 years. They've been kind of like Vanderbilt. UCLA has really fallen down, quickly.
Yeah, I mean with great recruits as well. That's like
Yeah, they consistently have a couple top 100 guys coming in every year.
yeah.
Luke Jewett.
But yeah, fastball kind of mid 90s, like 2 average off speeds. Decent command for a starter, should stick there long term. Kind of good pitchability guy.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess he throws to like a slider and a curveball, like or at least they can manipulate one into kind of a deeper pitch, and then he has the changeup. So basically, throws 5 pitches. Like he throws a 2-seamer also.
Oh, that's true.
So definitely not a high upside guy. I almost like it, kind of Jace Kaminska vibes there, where you get a deeper arsenal with command of it.
Pretty athletic delivery too. I like it.
Yeah. That might be my favorite day 2 pick, especially like relative to the draft position. I think that might be my favorite day 2 pick so far.
Yeah, I mean, Kaminska is a really great comp. I don't know player-wise, but I mean, what Kaminska's done this first year is you almost don't expect it. Obviously, you don't expect what Kaminska done. I mean, California Pitcher of the Week again this past week. Forgot to mention that on the top of the show. So, I mean, he's still doing it, pitching far into games. Even after a stretch, Kaminska had a kind of a rough stretch this past month, but still just a great pickup from Nebraska. I know Aaron will love that one. But Luke Jewett, if you can even do like half of that, like we're looking at a pretty good pick here. And you say like best pitcher they've had in a while. You like prospects go to UCLA. Like despite them struggling compared to the norm, like they're still going to get a good recruiting class.
Well, like certainly the best they had in their rotation this year. So yeah, there's definitely some steam behind that. I mean, it's not a flashy pick by any means.
No.
But I think he can climb a couple levels as a starter at least. That's not something that you find all the time late day 2.
Yeah, I like that pick. You
me too.
Like another pitcher, it's kind of funny. I think like 2 hours ago we were like, you know, where are the pitchers at? And then here we are, a little run on pitchers here.
Yeah, it's a pretty logical way to do it. Just get a lot of guys.
Yeah.
A lot of just darts thrown. And this guy, what are you guys' chance that he sticks as a starter?
Say pretty good.
Okay. I like that.
I mean, yeah, he's almost more like either he like I don't really see like his pitching style work that much as a reliever. I'm sure he can it. But
his stuff isn't that good for a bullpen role.
Yeah, he's like a defined starter with the deep arsenal. Pretty solid command.
Yeah, I mean, I think any arm you can get is like valuable, and I mean UCLA I think it's treated us pretty well. I mean, we look at Tolia, who you know he's on fire right now. So
yeah, they treated us well with him. We got a first round for first baseman that.
Yeah, my bad.
5 years to start.
I forgot. Yeah, Toledo was. Yeah, I'm not gonna say that.
I hope for the best.
I do. No, I think he's a cool guy. Seems like just a cool guy just to chill with.
Yeah, no, I like him a lot. Good energy. Here I'll try to throw grades into it.
Toledo's the guy that like he's gonna be on the Rockies. He's not gonna die. He's just that type of player that. He'll find a role.
He has a ton of just loyalty from the org. Yeah. So
we'll see if his brother is drafted. You know, maybe he has that much loyalty. But no, like Toledo, that power is gonna play no matter what. So I mean, he'll play so much like his whole career just because I mean, currently the way his power is, it's a little crazy. But
yeah, seeing the last couple of weeks for him, I was not expecting to see any power barrage like that just out of nowhere. I dropped the Jewett grades. If we still want, we don't at this point. We almost could stop with the profiles, but if we want to stick
Yeah.
with their debut, we can.
Okay.
But
I mean,
it's like
I'm
necessary.
down to keep doing them. It's just, are you confident that it's going to be a fair assessment?
Yeah,
I get it if it's not.
it's just almost like will people care that much? I don't know.
Well, I kind of want to do it just to like when we're writing an article in the future, kind of just to have it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's fair. Like just concrete resource.
Yeah. It's also, I mean, I don't know. It's just right hander. How old is Jewett? Is he?
I think 21.
Yeah, 21.
There you go. So still a young cat. And this, you guys said it might be a little overslot just with the money. Like,
I mean,
a little bit.
Because I guess looking back at that 22 draft, they overslotted a lot of guys by like 10K.
Yeah. Almost like just like to avoid getting like outbid. Like that 10K grand scheme of things isn't really.
I mean, for them, that ends up being, in some cases, like almost 10% of like what they're going to get total, like somewhere between like 4 and 6% of what they get total. So if it's like they're talking to other teams and then all of a sudden they're like, we got an offer. I mean, teams can always just take a college guy and they'll sign. But if you're not like hearing back promptly from a guy you want to draft right now, like you might be a little less inclined to take them. All right, I will be right back. I'm gonna
Go for it. This guy seems to have a really balanced repertoire, but like nothing really stands out.
No, it's like nothing plus, but does a bit of everything well, which, for a starting pitching project.
Like that's kind of like, I don't want to say Freeland, but Freeland was kind of like that. Granted, Freeland has plus things, but he has so many just different pitches.
Yeah.
What do you think is his best pitch?
Probably his slider, I would say.
Yeah, Tyler has that as Tyler has that as a 40, but I don't know.
I mean, it got hit pretty hard this year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It looks nice though.
Like the curveball is a really steep one, which I like that a little bit better.
Do you mind if I put the curveball up to 55? Would that be like too much?
I don't quite think it's there.
Okay, that's fine.
Because for him to have like potentially two average secondaries,
yeah,
it's pretty solid for like an 8th round guy.
Yeah, I think like he seems polished.
Yeah, I think he's gonna do very well in the lower minors.
Yeah, I was about this guy's definitely gonna eat in Fresno when he goes down there. Or
I mean, the velo is pretty good though. If he can more consistently like sit 93, 94, which I mean that's towards the top of his current range, like he could definitely make some waves.
So like we're looking at like a Quezada kind of like he's gonna
hopefully a little bit better. I mean, no knock on Quezada, but I mean, he's 27 at this point. Like there's a reason for slow progression. I would almost say like Carl Kaufman is sort of like an archetype here.
There you go.
Yeah, that's pretty solid.
Like same
higher hopes, but I think we've seen now, like in retrospect, Kaufman was probably closer to like a talent like Jewett than a second rounder.
Yeah. I mean, Jewett throws a lot harder though than Kaufman.
Yeah, Kaufman. I guess now it's like 89 to 91.
Yeah, he's lost a lot of velo.
That's one of the weirdest kind of stories. That when he was drafted, it looked like, oh, you get a 91 to 94 guy with pretty good command, and we just didn't really get any of that. He had a good like half season in AA at some point, and it looked like, okay, he's going to be a big league starter, but
we also discounted Kyle Karros' teammate Luke Jewett. So
true, yeah, true.
Oh, another little teammate. We have a lot of those little pairings, trios. And round 8 is flying by. We were on the Yankees pick. Just picked Tyler Wilson from Grand Canyon University.
Picked him as a first.
Yeah, I was surprised by that.
Yeah.
Grand Canyon, I saw GCU, last name Wilson, Jacob Wilson first came.
Well, what's funny is I'm pretty sure he's also from big league bloodlines, but not this. I mean, definitely not the same.
Yeah, I don't think they're related.
No, I doubt it. This guy, he's from Taiwan.
I think his dad maybe also played or something. So it's just kind of interesting that they had two Wilsons in the span of 2 years with big league pedigree.
Well, I'm thinking his dad was like a military guy to be born in Taiwan.
Yeah, his dad's 6-year pitching career in the big leagues, 345 big league innings for his dad, Steve.
There you go.
The Tigers picked a pitcher out of D2 Regis too. That's pretty interesting.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I think they're I respect their baseball program. Like usually they have like one guy go pro every year. It's respectable for kind of a mid-tier D2.
Yeah. What is it, in the RMAC conference or something?
I think so.
Yeah, it's pretty solid.
Ryan Lambert, any
big fastball.
Peter Lambert's anything related? I'm looking at his last name.
He looks I don't think so. This dude looks pretty like, I don't know. There's something about like Peter and Jimmy Lambert that they kind of look like kids forever. They have those baby faces.
That's Hunter Goodman. Hunter Goodman's gonna look like a kid his whole life.
Yeah, that's true too.
There's another person in the system that has like the biggest baby face in the world in the Rockies system. Victor Juarez.
Oh yeah, he definitely does. Yeah.
Because I thought he was like 19. He's like 21.
In some ways, Braden Ward kind of does too.
He looks like Patrick Lyons so much.
Have we ever seen them in the same room?
Yeah.
Rick Lyons secretly developing.
It's right. He started phasing out Rockies content a little bit.
He got big time.
Yeah. Which, speaking of that player archetype, we haven't seen that at all. I mean, round 9 coming up here, you have to pick a center fielder or shortstop.
That's something I'm kind of waiting for. Probably at this point, it comes day 3.
Yeah.
Day 3 is usually sort of like they alternate a little bit between like pitcher hitter or pitcher hitter.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's for your depth in the minor leagues normally.
Jenkins Coward. That's a pretty good value pick.
Oh yeah! Wow.
Yeah.
He's going to be their top 10 position players probably, prospects.
Oh my gosh, it's like true though. They are pretty dry.
Victor Mesa
players. They really hit like super hard on positional players in this draft. I got to look back.
They're kind of like the team where it's like if we were to trade an Amador or like a Yank, like the Marlins are a team we try and get pitching.
Yeah. They would be perfect mix.
Almost like a Brendan Rodgers for a pitcher maybe, but I don't know.
Let's see. They've only drafted 3 pitchers so far. So now they've got like 6 hitters.
I mean, they've got a lot of guys. Like Trace Bright, Max Mayer's going to be an MLB guy. All right, I'm gonna get a water.
It's fun. Like I haven't gotten to keep up, especially today. It's fun looking back though and seeing the patterns that other teams took on that year.
Yeah.
Like there's always that one team that does really. I mean, I guess the Angels kind of always do it. They took Christian Moore and then they took 7 pitchers in a row, and finally broke that trend this round.
Yeah.
Alabama State University. That's who they get a guy out of there.
The guy the Padres picked, I hadn't heard of him, but I looked him up on Twitter. He's a hardcore submariner. It's like you don't see that much. I respect it.
Nick Wisman or which one?
Yeah, Wisman.
That's crazy. I like that a lot. You get like a 5th-year guy that brings something unique. You could sign him for nothing and get something that potentially works out in your system. Yeah, they had a crazy draft. They got like 3 pretty high-end prep guys. Cobb Hightower also, and then Tyson Neighbors and Kavaris Tears, I think, are really good college guys.
Yeah, I agree.
I like what San Diego did. I mean, they just so high school heavy. Like those guys, you're not going to see those picks necessarily pay off for 2 years before we're like, okay, those picks hit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you'll probably see those guys in A-ball this year, though. I'm assuming.
Potentially, yeah. I mean, it's tough with some of the lower end guys that just putting certain prep guys in low A immediately is a pretty tough assignment for them. I mean, there's limited options though outside of that. I think Nick tried to shout out this Jaden Volker guy.
Yeah, he's a good JUCO prospect. I had him kind of around this range on my board.
Okay.
Yeah, I kind of had it 18.6 strikeouts per 9, which is just crazy this year. Yeah, good fast, really good metrics kind of guy. Might be a reliever though.
It's nice that like going after JUCO guys. Not that I'm surprised there's not more of them because usually there's only a handful every year that are good enough to just go enter the draft. But it's a fun demographic to try and draft.
No, yeah, for sure.
Like every year, it seems like there's a handful of guys that are able to just get easy mid-90s velocity that they just kind of figured out by getting the reps.
So the Rays have drafted Theo Gillen, who I think they're going to try and play at shortstop, if I'm not wrong.
I think center field.
I think they announced him as outfield.
Yeah, his arm is a bit too weak, I think, for shortstop.
There you go. We have Petrie, who second base, middle, and then you have another shortstop, a catcher, then 5 straight pitchers. So they're going straight like positional value. That's sort of a good model. Sort of what the Rockies did, except they didn't take like up the middle premium position guys. But you get quality in the bats and then quantity in the hitter or the pitchers. Yeah. Most of these guys, kind of like the international signings, hilarious because like 90% of them are shortstops, and it's like they usually aren't going to be shortstops. So there are more shortstops than there will become in the draft naturally. Like Juan Guerrero.
Most of them will be some if they're lucky get to play center field. Otherwise, it's like second base, corner outfield, third base. It's like 75% of them.
Like I think Andy Perez will make the move to third base here soon, like next year.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an interesting class for the Rockies that we've
Very 4 straight pitchers, all 4 years.
After 3 straight hitters, like that's something I don't think we've seen the Rockies do that.
They rarely do that
too. Yeah, they're big on balancing, like kind of spread the bats out a little bit more, but yeah, that's just a draft pattern I haven't seen them do.
No, yeah, that's rare. I mean, I've kind of liked their draft class overall. It's solid. I just wish though they'd go upside with a high school guy or two.
They need to with the limited upside that they've gotten on day 2 so far. Like they've gotten some guys that I'm confident will rise through the system.
Yeah,
but there's no one that could kind of come out of nowhere as like a star level player.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and you're not likely to get any player like that, even when you take prep player. You just never know. But here, I don't know if there's any upside to be like a big leaguer.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe LeBaron Johnson if like there's just some serious changes that they can make to his arsenal because it's a powerful arsenal and there's 3 legit pitches there.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a lot that would have to change. But there's a lot of safety. So
yeah, I mean, like a lot of these guys, probably likely big league role players at worst, but just the hope is they can be a bit more impactful.
I think a year from now, this draft class, we're going to be like, oh, this is such a good draft class because these guys are flying. But it's like there is a ceiling that isn't really there. I mean, looking back at the Blake Wright pick, it's a little questionable looking back at it now through the lens of like, hey, we haven't really gone with the high schooler after the Blake Wright pick, which is kind of what we thought we'd do. So that's the only really thing I'd really comment on in terms of like criticism.
Well, I guess the most popular time at this point for that to happen is like round 11. There's usually a few high scores that go off really early.
Yeah.
So if any team's going to do it, they wait
till
round 11, day 3.
The Angels did that with Caden Dana a year or 2 ago, and I mean now he's turned into their best prospect. So
the only prospect that them pushing up quickly is actually worked for it.
When you're Mason, it's funny. Same organization, Mason Albright. When they drafted him, they gave him 2nd round money in the 12th round. So that's definitely where it plays out the most. So I don't really expect them to take a prep player, but if they're going to do it, we won't be seeing it today.
Yeah.
It makes sense to make some calls, get a strong number on a guy.
You want to make sure that they'll sign too, because
but then also they're just guys that if you are offering them their number, like they're not getting that from other teams necessarily. So you put them in a round where you're fine, even if they don't sign, you burn pick 11 in your draft class. Like day 2, I think teams like to try and target those more coveted low ceiling players.
Yeah. The Braves, that's an interesting pick. A guy out of the University of Montevallo had a 5.8 ERA this season.
Never seen a draftee from the University of Montevallo.
Yeah.
Oh, I need round 9.
I know.
It's bad when we're talking about the University of Montevallo.
Yeah.
I feel like it's slowed down. I don't know why they're taking so long. Maybe we've got more efficient graphics and
We've
stuff.
got the University of Montevallo, Northern Essex Community College, Virginia Military Institute.
Radford.
Yeah. And Regis got hit in this round, so
yeah.
That's what happens at this point. You learn about new schools in the draft. This part.
I've been looking on Twitter too, and it looks like Davis Diaz, the A's actually plan on having him catch, which is
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Because
I guess caught a bit in high school, but like, yeah.
He was a top 3 round prospect coming into the season as a shortstop.
Yeah.
That's a crazy pivot.
Yeah. I mean, his defense is good there too. I
think he would have passed at second base very well defensively.
Yeah.
And then maybe a decent enough contact bat. Because I don't think slapping catcher on a player all of a sudden makes all of their other issues go away. Like just because he's a catcher doesn't mean it's okay to have whatever deficiencies were there. So it's pretty odd. Maybe they won't stick with it. I mean, we saw Cole Carrigan announced as a catcher last year, and he's appeared in like 4. I don't even think 4 games as a catcher in the minors. All right, finally, round 9.
Yeah, Carrick is very much a catcher in like the same way. Like I don't know what would be it, but like he's not really a catcher anymore. It's clearly been phased out of his game.
Well, he never had it in his game, and they announced it as him as a catcher.
He didn't play that in college?
He played like a couple games in the summer, like summer ball. It was just sort of like he wanted to catch, and I think the Rockies like the idea of sort of developing him in there. But if you're not playing catcher consistently, you might as well not play at all. Especially,
I'm still shocked. Anthony Silva hasn't gone yet. Like,
Yeah, that's a big name. TCU, right?
yeah, I mean, most people had him like third, fourth round. I mean, he was kind of had first round interest going into the year.
yeah. I mean, him kind of and Davis Diaz were in the same boat of these. They were sort of that like lower second tier of middle infielders out of college, and yeah, now they're doing things that we did not expect. Potentially undrafted for Silva.
Mhm.
Although I don't know. Like it's one of those that doesn't. Maybe in the NIL era, we're going to see more guys like say, "I'll take another large sum of NIL money and just accept being a senior sign the following year." I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. Rockies on the clock.
All right. How are you guys getting the picks? Because I'm always late. I'm
I just have
always
the tracker.
Yeah,
Okay.
the tracker.
Mine's just a little slow than I guess.
Usually, I mean, yeah, I've had to refresh mine at certain points. Like
Mhm.
I'll get like 2 or 3 picks behind.
Canyon Brown, great name.
Yeah.
This is the worst time. Like one spot before us. It's like, oh.
All right.
With how quick they turn into cards, there's got to be a preset plan, like at least like an hour in advance. Because
Well, I'm sure that like 99% of the time, I don't know if it's ever really happened like on day 2 where you're like ready to take a guy and then the person in front of you takes them.
yeah, like boards are probably so much different in baseball.
Yeah.
Well, we compare-
I'm sure you have like a contingency.
Yeah, and then you have a contingency even if that happens. But I'm sure there's like some teams that Kenyon Brown they didn't have on their board.
Interesting.
But okay.
Oh, Fresno State.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, that's the first thing. As a Boise State fan, I don't like this pick, but we don't have a baseball team. So.
He actually wrote about him in Prospects Live article. He's one of the Mountain West guys that I thought would be a pretty legit day 2 prospect. Switch hitter, two quality swings. I didn't expect him to announce him as a catcher though. Oh, they switched to first base.
Still first base?
Yeah, I mean he played some outfield this year too, so could see that. Yeah, that's an interesting pick. I like it. Switch hitter, really good bat to ball skills, like average power.
Yeah, that's not too bad. I like it.
And I mean he's a senior, so you're getting a little bit of a discount potentially.
I really hope we use some of the savings for a high schooler tomorrow.
I remember I forget which year it was for like just really feeling like scammed. Like there has to be a high school guy, and then
This can't be it, right?
And I know for sure in 2022, after the Gabe Hughes pick, it's like there's going to be a high school guy. Unfortunately, there was. I thought it was going to be like round 2 though. So hopefully tomorrow we do get that. But yeah, Tommy, I'm pretty happy about that pick. I think that's one of my favorite hitters of the day. We've taken now, what is that? Our 4th hitter of the day or 3rd?
Might be our 3rd.
Let's see.
Tommy,
Okay. 3rd of the day. So third hitter of the day, and honestly, he might be my favorite, especially again when you're thinking about where you're taking him. Like Messina's great. Hoffy's a 9th round pick, and I think you get a legit pro there.
Yeah. I mean, you can't ever go wrong with a Fresno State, a Mountain West guy, is what I'll say.
Yeah, I love seeing the conference get some.
Yeah.
Yeah, 90th percentile exit velocity of 106.3. I mean, I think the Mountain West, like I think some of those the setups
Yeah.
they had were a little janked. Like a lot of the
You
UNM
know,
hitters had like extremely high EVs, and like, is every hitter at UNM like have this much power?
It might be. I don't know how much altitude would affect that.
I don't think
It
I
doesn't
don't think it
really.
really can. Like,
Yeah.
it's measured like off the bat.
Yeah.
So the only way it would impact it is like you're typically getting better contact quality. Like
maybe the bat, you can swing the bat harder with low. I don't know.
it's. I just think their
Resistance?
systems must be a little like miscalibrated.
Yeah.
But if
I'm
the
sure it's not.
106.3 is like true, then Hoppy has pretty legit power.
Yeah. White Sox took a guy that doesn't exist apparently on the draft track. So
They just took the University of Iowa.
he took the whole college. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's cost cutting, I guess.
Does that mean they get Brecht now, or?
We missed the memo that you're supposed to take the entire school.
Yeah. That's not bad though. The football team, basketball, like.
Yeah, no, there's some good value. I mean, the
Decent
men's
value.
basketball team is always pretty good.
So, it's like the whole school.
I don't know. Academically, I doubt it's there, but I don't know. Is he a 21-year-old or is he a little older?
I think he's 22.
Well, I'm glad we're not taking Hopfy as a pitcher because that would be.
Yeah, I forgot that. Yes,
He's
that's
too
why.
late.
I think he pitched this year. Yeah, right.
Yeah, 7.94 ERA in 17 innings with 8 saves.
So, like, I mean, just in case we need a guy.
I think I remember when I was kind of like diving into his profile more, I was like, this guy should be an outfielder because you have that arm that probably grades out average or better.
All right, go just drop the ratings when you're ready, Tyler. Should be a hitter, so I shouldn't do that.
Okay.
And I don't think it's.
Yeah, I feel pretty
It's
good
just
about grades with him because
Yeah, sure. West Coast guy.
these guys that I've.
It'd be hit, power, speed, field arm, or run, I guess.
Yeah. I'm gonna go 50.
Oh, Deuce Gorson just went off the board. That's
Really?
crazy. 9th round.
Such a good value. They just announced him as a shortstop too.
Second baseman.
Okay. I know. I guess I mean at least on the broadcast just now they called him a shortstop.
Oh, really?
Like, there's just like no way he's gonna stick there. But
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I wonder if they give him a shot in the outfield now because, like, now he's just focusing on hitting.
yeah, that's another. I mean, the Rockies have had a lot of guys where it's sort of like you count on a new opportunity to develop. Like Condon, 2 years of collegiate experience. Brecht, it's his second year as a pitcher only. Jared Thomas is still pretty young. Like they're getting guys that you might be able to kind of get a little extra out of than you're expecting. All right, their grades dropped.
Thank you. Yeah, 55 hits. Well, I mean, at this point in the draft, I think that's like you can't really say no to that, or you can't be a 55 and 50. Tyler, is there a reason this guy fell, or am I tripping here? 'Cause that's a great power tool.
Well,
I mean, first baseman from a mid-major.
Yeah.
Yeah, and at the age too. So it's like that's what I like getting these guys at this point in the draft. Actually, he's a 4th-year player, but he doesn't turn 22 until October. That's pretty interesting. But this is like the range where like the senior signs end up looking good.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely like the Rockies to try him in the outfield, though. I mean, that offensive profile, like in left field or right field, would really go well.
Yeah, especially up somewhere. Like, I think he'd be able to hold his own.
I mean, that's like the best contact bat they've had join the organization in a little while.
Yeah. It's kind of a bit like Aiden Longwell last year. I mean,
Yeah.
I think power, but
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, I guess like a little more power, slightly less discipline, but also probably playing better competition typically.
yeah.
So I think that counts for a little something.
Where was Longwell from?
Kent State?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, definitely not a bad conference, but
No, yeah.
not one where you're seeing a lot of like legit pros come from. Like most Mountain West schools like have a pro a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, that Deuce Gorson pick, that's such a steal.
Mm-hmm. I mean, now we just got to hope the Mountain West adds Oregon State and Washington State to the conference. Then
My gosh.
I would love that.
You would just get a lot more recruits see it coming because now they know they're going to play on at least a little bit of a bigger stage.
Yeah.
But with the way college sports are, like they'll almost just like sign individual contracts for certain sports.
Yeah. I mean, I actually think Washington State's playing next year, not in the conference, but
yeah,
They have like a deal. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually they have like $300 million to rebuild the conference, basically.
And I mean, yeah, UNM plays Oregon State every year, pretty much. Anyway.
Yeah. Ooh, the Giants, Zane Zelensky. That's a really good sleeper pick. Good shortstop, makes a lot of contact.
Illinois, Chicago. That's not a common.
No, yeah.
It's a common spot. Oh, we got a Lenore Ryan University. We are definitely in that territory now.
Remember, they had a pretty good draft prospect for the NFL. Keith Duggar or something.
Yeah.
Kyle Duggar. Put some respect on Lenore Ryan.
We got a Harvard pick in this round. And we got Tuttle Lake High. Yes, actually.
I was just about to say Tuttle Lake High School.
That's Jackson Cox.
Two Arkansas picks. Hudson White's a name I recognize.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised he got this low.
Yeah, props to them. I don't know if like last year MLB Pipeline guys did the entirety of day 2, but they're almost there. I mean, their fingers must be tired from they just text the whole time and get a text from somebody. Yeah, I'm pumped on hockey. We got Lamar University now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in terms of tomorrow, it's tough to predict any prep guys. Like in a perfect world, it'd be very easy to say, I just name your prep player that the Rockies try to price them down, sign them for $400K. That seems like it could fit into their pool, but we'll never know until like the entirety of the draft class is really picked out.
Yeah. Polk State College. Man, we're on a run here with good names.
Yeah. Now we just need like players with really good names too.
Yeah.
Like there were some early. I mean, the best one for sure is Zane Zelensky.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, Deuce Gorson. There's probably only going to be one Deuce in MLB history if he makes it there. All All right, hang on. I'll be right back. Hopefully, well before the Rockies pick.
Yeah, I mean, flying now. I complained about the speed, and now we're back. Fresno State, we have EJ Andrews too in the system, so we another little pairing. So
Buddies.
that's all. One more pick.
That's an 80 grade name right there.
Who? Let me see.
Dubbed lead.
Out of
Yeah, we asked and we received a good name.
yeah.
I'm surprised he lasted this long, though. It's crazy.
Dubically. That's a great name. Dub. I know the remaining players is pointless right now, but we'll see what they got. Brent Iredale, is he still here? I think he was.
Yeah, he's still here.
Oh yeah, you're right. Why are they alphabetically?
I mean, I'm thinking at this point with Iredale, if he doesn't go pretty soon, he might just go to Arkansas because
he's committed to transfer.
Yeah, so it's kind of like the high school too with JUCO guys.
Wow, this dude is 25. Dalton Bowling, or 24, or 20. Oh my bad, I'm an idiot. 23. We're not 20, 25, but still, old guy. Yeah, I mean, I think the draft, we're kind of seeing it turn, I feel like, value-wise. Definitely, you're going to have to start looking a little harder to have a gem.
Yeah.
Still a lot of good first basemen, I'd say. A lot of just, like, Jared Jones, Miles Bailey. Although, Miles Bailey probably going back to school.
Yeah, I'm surprised Jones is still available.
Yeah, is he sophomore, right? Yeah.
I think so.
I hate how like they have the two-way player like filter, but there's no one on it. Like they haven't added anybody to it. Same thing with like utility players or DHs. Zach Stewart definitely going back to college now.
Yeah, I heard Silva's going to back to college for another year.
How about Harrison Didowick? Is he also sophomore? So. Is he going back? That's a question there. We look at sheesh. This is when the ranking, the MLB pipeline rankings are actually pointless now because everybody that's unranked is in alphabetical order, and everybody that is ranked won't be picked, or most of the guys. So I'm pretty blind right now. There's some guys I'm intrigued. Thomas, I know these guys are going to go back to school, but I would have taken a chance on Tomas Valencius or Talon Bell. Is a guy I would take a chance on.
Big lefty. I'm sure he's going to school, though.
Aiden O'Connell. Is that the QB? That's fine. Let's see. Okay, now we have to get finish this.
Oh, yeah, that's another Mountain West guy to the Twins.
Mountain West. Yeah, Nevada. Is that the guy you were talking about, the Nevada player?
Yeah. Well, there's two Nevada guys. I guess that's one of them.
Let's see upstairs. Yeah, like TGA. Where's he committed? Is it Virginia? Trey Gregory Alfred.
Yeah, I don't think he's signing now.
No, he's definitely not. But yeah. Like, there's still a lot of like Brady Tigert, Travis Smith, Kyle Robinson, guys that I think will be drafted.
Yeah, I'm surprised they haven't gone yet.
Let's see.
Another Mountain West. I didn't necessarily like I don't know how we're saying that name.
Or is it? I don't know.
Dr. Jack.
I think you can just say whatever and just, you're like, oh, yeah, sure.
We'll stick.
It's like that one dude in the Guardian system, like, I don't know what his name is. Someone just started calling him the password because his name is just like a ton of things together.
It's a great nickname.
Oh, there we go. We got Troy University representation.
Hey, Polk State College. That's a Air Force, not Air Force, like a flying academy. Near me. It's like where you go if you want to become like a pilot. So, representative. Here you go.
I had no idea.
It's very odd. I don't even think that. I didn't think that a baseball program.
It's kind of funny how the Angels, I felt like, I mean, obviously the strategy before was like trying to get prospects up with Shohei and Trout, but like they're still just going with like older college prospects that they can just shoot up pretty quickly.
They're living and dying by it for sure.
Yeah.
To a T. It's pretty funny. But yeah, I mean, Derek Clark's, 2001 baby.
Almost made it.
Almost there.
Yeah, doing like 8 hours of this across 2 days.
Brutal. Day one was so quick, though.
It started to get quick, yeah. I mean, because round 2 was like such a breeze.
Yeah, I flew.
I didn't watch round 2.
Oh, Marcus Morgan in the 9th. That's
good value.
I thought Iowa was already taken, so I don't know how he's being drafted. Guess what was Jack Young, the White Sox guy. So Iowa, a lot of pitchers off the board. Let's see.
I don't think the Phillies heard though that the University of Iowa got drafted.
Yeah.
That's going to be really embarrassing for them to realize later.
Yeah, Iowa's a pitching factory. It's such a fun program.
It's really funny they're a pitching factory considering their football team is a defensive factory.
Yeah, it's true. They don't let people score.
No, not at all. Then McLaughlin.
Oh, wow, that's funny. He got drafted last year and turned down like $150K.
Really?
Came back. It's kind of funny to end up in the exact same range.
Yeah. So let's say if you're a college player, because then you're just older, so you're like, they're not really going to increase.
I'm sure you got paid a little bit.
Yeah, I think he basically got what he would have received as a signing bonus in NIL. So I don't know how the trade-off works there in one's head. But he's a Colorado kid.
State. Keith Jones II from New Mexico State rounds out tonight.
That's pretty good value. I liked him.
Oh, yeah.
Aren't you guys both Lobos, though? Don't you guys hate that guy? He's a
I respect their baseball program enough just
me
since it's
too.
baseball. But any other sport, though, yeah. I mean, yeah, this year, what we got, I shouldn't even be making light of it. Yeah, we got our field pissed on and then had a friggin' violent incident.
Yeah.
Like all between two of the major sports.
Oh, no. You guys had a good basketball year, though. You guys are always pretty good at basketball.
Yeah.
And they're back, hopefully for a while.
Yeah, because you guys had the national championship run, so it's like you guys are kind of an iconic basketball team.
Yeah, for like as like quote unquote mid majors go.
Mm-hmm. The Mountain West is so good, like basketball wise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not a major in basketball.
All right, last pick.
What are we gonna get?
And get out.
I'm thinking. I mean, they're probably going to go back into the pitching bucket. Get like
Hey, Darian Pendergrass still on the board.
I'm going to guess small town. I mean, a small town, like small major, third-year pitcher.
Yeah,
that's a good bet.
This is like Bethune-Cookman pitcher.
All right, round 10, last pick of the day.
Ackenhausen. That's a great name.
Yeah.
That's a pitching name right there.
Yeah, fit that on the jersey.
I love that name. I know the name too.
Fisher James. Okay.
Wait, did they put the Colorado one?
Yeah, it's Fisher Jameson from Florida.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So
maybe not small school, but
yeah, definitely not.
Third-year junior, so half right. Pitched really good on the Cape last year, 3.99 ERA, mainly on the bullpen, but really good command.
I'd say it's at least an above average slider. It's a really solid pitch. I think it comes out of that feel, but it's a power slider again. So
is he a lefty or righty?
I think he's right-handed. Yeah. So probably another one that they just look to fast track as a reliever. I mean, fast track relatively. I don't know in the 10th round if you're getting pushed any faster than anybody else, but probably full-time reliever.
Yeah, he's kind of got an interesting delivery. Like he falls off the mound, like fastball top rally.
Yeah, he kind of like plants himself and then just all his weight just falls.
Yeah. Probably just a reliever.
Well, I mean, in the name though.
I think it's just the slider could legit play his way. At least through the upper minors.
It's funny, there's a baseball player named Jameson Fisher.
Really?
Just retired a couple years ago. So.
I mean, he really cut down on his ERA from last year. Went from 13.50 to 3.99.
Oh my gosh!
Progress.
At that age,
that means we're going to get the same
one
progress. He's going to get the same progress going into the pros.
Yeah.
Be topped at 96, even though. And yeah, Lewis, that's a question for you. Is the giveaway still active?
Oh, I forgot to do the giveaway.
Yes, I guess it's still active. And
still active. I meant to do it in the 4th round.
I mean, but yeah, it's like we've been on this thing.
That's why we need Aaron. Aaron is so good with like the stuff that like matters. Like
yeah, for like
the thumbnails, stuff like that. Aaron clutches up. The stuff that doesn't get credit, but is like 100% needed, and someone has to do it. Aaron clutches up with that stuff every single time. But yeah, Fisher Jameson, elite name.
Yeah, I like having a Fisher.
Yeah.
Let's see. And then just go and send the ratings, Tyler, when you get the chance, and then we'll call it a day. And another Florida guy, Sterling Thompson. So, I'm sure there's so many dudes in the system naturally there's going to be a duo, but looking out for that.
Boom. All right, that's a successful day. I mean, I guess I guess before we do wrap up, we should do we've kind of been recapping it a little bit. We should.
Did you drop the ratings?
Some final thoughts. Oh yeah, let me do that first.
My bad. What's the pitching looking like repertoire?
It's just fastball slider. I don't know. I'm almost tempted to just put a 40 on the fastball. I think I will just for.
Yeah, I mean if that's what you think.
The slider's solid. But yeah, while you guys are working, I'll try to give a quick recap of day 2. Might be clipping something. I don't know how we're gonna do that, but started with a couple bats. Cole Messina, Blake Wright. You get power with both. Not necessarily those defensive, athletic-minded players, and then a run of pitchers. LeBaron Johnson, big-time power stuff out of Texas. Connor Eaton, solid, rounded left-hander from George Mason. Fidel Ulloa from LSU, kind of as Lewis coined, he's from near Fresno, so he's going to be near home playing for the Grizzlies. Solid relief prospect. We're not expecting the world from any of these guys kind of mid-late day 2, but he has a chance to ride the system as a reliever. Round 8, Lake Jewett out of UCLA, 5 pitches, pretty polished arm, so there's hope that he can be one of those main starters from this draft class. Round 9, Tommy Hoffey out of Fresno State. Really solid contact bat with some decent raw power as well. And then we just finished up with Fisher Jameson, who's got a good slider, so a chance with that pitch to potentially make a push in the big leagues or to the big leagues.
Yeah. How old is Fisher Jameson?
I believe he's 20.
Yeah, 21.
Yeah.
He's on the young side for 21 too.
And you got to trust that Florida pedigree.
Yeah, I mean, let's see.
Yeah, I like the end of how the balance formed. Like I was totally caught off guard by 2 bats off the top, but get a few solid pitchers mixed in there to balance things out. So,
yeah, I think a lot of good prospects. Not a huge ceiling for any of them, but I mean overall, all these guys have. Yeah, they could fly through the minors pretty quickly.
Which, if there's one thing I would say about that, I feel like that's like half our prospects. Yeah. That exact thing. We don't really have if this guy hits, he's going to be an all-star. It's more like this guy hits, he's going to be, X, Y, Z, but he's probably going to hit. That's kind of what we're saying.
But yeah, I think that's what I want to see them add. Yeah, that prep guy tomorrow. Probably not going to see it. Shouldn't get our hopes up. But you get to kind of have a longer timeline and a little bit more upside there. So.
Sure.
I think especially with this class that they had no big ceilings on day 2, as we mentioned.
Mm-hmm. We also got the greatest hitter in college baseball history, so
yeah. So yeah, hopefully day 3 offers a little bit more upside, but still can't be mad at this. You get some legit pitching and a couple power bats. So
yeah, it's a really solid draft class for sure.
And yeah, we'll roll into day 3.
I think tomorrow we're gonna do what's it called? A Twitter space. If you guys are down for that, less pressure, I guess.
I guess we'll have to see what people, because middle of Tuesday afternoon might be not a lot of the goal of it getting people to come share their opinions might not get a lot. But it's something to think about. I mean, there's going to be the draft picks happening, so.
Yeah. But anyway, so great draft so far. Another 4-hour day for us, so it's been busy.
Yeah, I got to decompress all things baseball.
I know. College football came out an hour ago. I haven't got to play it. An hour and a half ago. I feel like.
And yeah, Steve, he wants to know before we leave, does totally have a feature with the team? I mean, he's definitely not on the hot seat, and no one's, just because Charlie. I mean, actually, there's a lot of corner guys drafted in this class, but I don't think they push him off, anytime soon. He's going to play himself in or out of his future. So
yeah,
we really just got to see that happen.
With the step he's taken this past month, I mean, it's exciting.
He's on the track to have a future, but also like is going to need to keep a strong pace going through the rest of this season. I mean, I'm sure the Rockies talked about DFAing, non-tendering him at some point in the last few, in the offseason, but he's made it this far and he's now starting to take advantage of the opportunities. So probably does have a future.
As long as he keeps hitting homers, then a homer game, then he'll be fine.
If he can pull off like a 30 home run season, which he's like almost on pace for that, like that's going to count for a lot, especially in the Rockies book. Like they haven't had a 30 home run hitter in like 3 years. So, we finished with Michael Tolia. Does that mean that Zach Tolia is going to join the organization tomorrow? Probably. Like round 18, 19, those are usually picks that are kind of fun picks anyway. So
yeah, those are free picks basically.
Yeah.
Wow.
Expect Zach Tolia tomorrow. All right. I think unless you guys have anything else for the good of the cause, that's day 2.
Yeah.
Fun stuff. Great stuff, guys. I know the article, I just checked it out, looks great. Tyler, the data is awesome. So, there you go.
We're cooking.
Whew, I'm tired.
I know.
All right. I'll see you guys. See y'all.
See ya.